There's my crew. I was like, well, maybe this summit ain't gonna work today. Kind of like me. Hey, I don't know what's going on, but it's actually cool outside right now. I mean, it's close to 80, but morning, guys. Morning, brother. Good morning. We do love Rufus. I don't know why the videos I've been making has been making everybody think Rufus died or something. I don't know what's going on. Amanda goes, well, you showed you and Rufus, then you showed a bulldozer digging a hole. And I said, it went from, it was wintertime. It was the beginning bulldozing I was doing, opening up the hole to build this barn. And she's like, you're so fucking stupid. And I'm like, man, that's a really touching video. Thank you. You gotta mix it up on here. Listen, don't worry. I'll be dead before Rufus, most likely. So then you guys, I try to figure out content from Amanda, the big boss. You had a good Prime Minister, Brent. Oh, thank you. Do you have any merch with your ranch name on it? That, actually, no. Why don't we? We branded Rufus the Bull, and that's our trademark name that we bought. Obviously, we could do our name, but we actually own the name Rufus the Bull, so that's what we went with everything. But it's Lockridge Ranch, and it's spelled Loughdridge. Okay, and I had to look, I did some digging into that, and I've always been told Lockridge was German, and it was pronounced Lockridge. It was more of a guttural. Well, from all the research I did, and this was recent, it is not. It actually could be, but very small amount, but it's actually lock as in like a dam, a water, like basically a lake ridge, if that makes sense. Lock. How much money is Rufus? 0. Yeah, that's it right there. That's what it came back, like the locks in Scotland. That's what it came back to. So I think it's more Scottish, but it says it could have some German. Greetings from Germany. So it's saying Scottish, Irish, something else for the actual name. But that's Loch. I know. So that's why, if you've ever noticed, it's not very common of a name, but most people have changed the spelling. I think I am a fucking Viking. I think I am. That would explain a lot. I don't really know what, because I don't, like, I feel like a Viking and like a pirate are kind of the same thing. Afternoon. Good morning, Nikki. Nikki loved the baby calf. I can't, Amanda has put a lock on anything I can buy right now, actually. I'm going Scottish. Loch Ness Monster. Scottish. I do have, now, I don't know if this means anything or not, but I usually just take off on some random shit. But I have a lot of red hair in my beard, or I did. Does that mean anything? Am I just stupid when I say that? Hey there. I was just wondering, as someone who is just getting into game development, doesn't have a long-term goal yet, I was wondering how you'd feel about if I made a game about Rufus. I don't really know. I can't approve. I'm not supposed to say I approve anything verbally, although that would be awesome. Just do what everybody else does. Just do it. Just don't even tell me. You know, the Lockridge monster. Most people have changed that the spelling of their name to Lock because it's so confusing. Lough. I've been called everything in the book. I Brent Low Ridge, Brent Lothridge, Brent, and I just answer to whatever. I think so. I'm super dyslexic on top of that, so I struggle spelling. Like, it is a huge issue with me, and I read words backwards. I do everything backwards, and that's why I struggle a lot of times. And I'll read something, and look at that. Not to break our topic, but see, I told you that bag would tighten out down the back. That was since yesterday. When she moves her tail, y'all be able to see, but shit, the wrinkles are about blown out of it now. Okay. I just noticed it too, Ruby. Yep. It's tightened up overnight. I see, you can see that right there. See that dent? Remember the other day we didn't see that. It was pretty, and right now she's kind of standing funny, but you can see that that's all going to soften right there so that that baby can come out. So that's all super hard and tight. It's kind of like dilation, but a little bit different around that tail. So if you see that crease right there, Scottish for ginger hair. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but I've got one of those ancestor DNA things that tells you what you are. I think somewhere Amanda does. I think I'm gonna do one of those just to see, for shits and giggles. It's gonna be like European, sure. I'm sure. And then my mother is Sioux Indian, Native American. So I don't really know what it'll be. I know a lot of people that think they're got some native blood in them that are not. So you look like Ragnar. I've heard that. I'm 60% Italian, Sicilian. Is Rupe in good mood today? The grass. I need to go check for army worms, because it looks like there's a lot of grass out there. But they were all yelling at me when I pulled in, which is not really common. But I feel like maybe grass is getting dry now. Sure didn't look it from their body weight, but army worms are a little grub worm that a little moth lays by the hundreds of millions, and they eat all the blades off the grass, and it'll look like there's grass and there will be nothing underneath the top. It will be completely gone. It's the craziest thing you've ever seen in your life. And they move in these giant swarms. They just crawl and eat everything in their path, and they can literally eat this entire place off in a day, maybe less than a day, the whole place, especially if it's hot. Aussie. Yeah, she raked one of those at my rib cage yesterday. And why do you have flies on your face, Ruth? You never have flies. I just got these spraying everybody with fly spray. Whenever I spray everybody with fly spray, they'll go to the one spot that there's no fly spray. Yeah, those little horns are tough little suckers. Thank you. They're pretty happy crew. They were yelling at me though this morning. I mean, all of them, and I telling me they were hungry, and I'm like, I've cut back on feed because I don't want Ruby's baby. Yeah, look at that bag. Look at that sticking out now. See, we almost got all the wrinkles out now. Still ain't time yet, but it's getting closer. The thing with the heifer is they can all happen fairly quick. Well, gosh dang, Ruth, you got an itch right on your tailbone. Clover, she's going to be over here before long. You guys are going to watch a walking school bus. She is so big. He has made a couple little sounds, but not much. Roxanne's going to flip that feed trough over to see if there's anything underneath of it. Ruby is, I don't have a due date on her because I don't know when she got bred for sure. But, oh, look. Look, Rowdy's going to go over there. I swear that Ruby will let anybody nurse on her. Rowdy's like, that looks like a booby. I might get me a drink out of that. Well, there's no milk there yet. That's funny. I think Ruby nursed, or not Ruby, I'm sorry. Rosie nursed Ruby a lot. They're sisters. Now Rufus gonna flip the trough over. Oh, it fell through a crack underneath there. You guys, come on, man. You guys act like you're starving to death. I'm gonna get a couple bales of hay today, round bales, and put in here. You're welcome, Gary. Good to have you. Rufus is 6 years old last spring. I thought I'd go live for a little bit this morning. I can't stay on here and bullshit all day. I know I say that every time. 3 hours later. Good luck getting his attention. Yeah, the only time that's somewhat safe to be around Rufus is when he's eating. He's fairly safe to be around when he's eating. Worst time to be around Rufus, first thing in the morning and last thing at daylight. I want y'all to look at this calf. Is this not got the prettiest face? Like, his little face is just like, and I think it's because he looks just like Roxanne. His eyes are dark. Ruth says, I'll mount you up. You'll hold still long enough. That's a game they all play with each other. Even the adults, even old cows, even the old girls, even the young boys. Everybody will ride each other. It's just a game they play. It's pretty funny because I watched Rhonda. You see how tall Rufus is? Get on Rufus's back, and she was pretty much standing up like a grizzly bear to get her front feet up on his back. And I tried to catch it on video, and I couldn't get the camera on quick enough. But look at that. You can see how far she had to have gone to get on. Yes, he is. To get on his back. And she got all the way up on his back. Whenever she is cycling and she wants to be bred, she will hound him. And Roxanne will do the same thing. Roxanne will just leave the damn farm. She's the one that worries me, is because, like, none of you guys are skinny at all. I don't know what's going on. The grass is getting drier. They just need some filler. But that bag has really changed since yesterday. It is getting tight. Don't do it, Rhonda. Stop ramming everybody. Rowdy is gonna pee. She gone out and looked. Yeah, she has before. Before Rufus matured, she matured before he did, and yeah, she left town. It's kind of funny when they're together all the time, and a lot of farmers will argue this with you. That's kind of an argument that they'll pull the bulls off the cows, and then put them back. And I think personally that's the best way to do it. That's why leaving these on them, they don't breed back as quick. That's what I was trying to tell everybody. I think there's a few people that think that I'm running like a cow mill here. I'm not. I would prefer them not breed back soon. Yep, ovulation checker. I keep hearing a dog bark up there, and I don't know why or where that's coming from. Yeah, Roxanne has been known to just not cycle for a long time. If you don't know, there's a gland inside their mouth, in their upper lip, and it tells them where that cow is in their cycle. But they can smell them for literally miles. So I don't know why he needs to stick his nose up everybody's ass every 5 minutes, because it smells the same as it did. What are they all looking at? Cows will tell on things too. I see everybody's looking up that way, but I don't see anybody or anything. Every once in a while we get a dog that's lost way out here in the middle of nowhere. And Rufus has found him a tree that is sharp in one spot, and he has rubbed it. Thank you, Brent, all the time and effort, you guys. Well, it's just, this has paid off so well that I think I'm going to stick with just social media, and I'm not going back to work. Thank you, Brent. What was that? Effort with Big Boss, put in and make daily videos. We try to keep, listen, and that's one thing, Jake, I appreciate that. I don't know about Amanda or not, but Amanda has that personality where, like, they're good. I know they're good. Brent's going to make sure they're good. I don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? So that's why she doesn't go live as much. But, like, I know you guys love these guys. Like, I have not seen so many people so upset because that one video where I was joking when Rufus was trying to get up, and it really was a joke. But, like, I want to give you guys daily updates. That's like not getting to see your dog for the day, I feel like, with some people, So I try to post every day on that day, footage from that day. So if you need to see them, like me, I have to see them. And I've even got cameras where I can see them throughout the day. And that does help a lot. And I'm going to try to do that for you guys too. Man, I got the power guy coming on Thursday. Oh, shit, that's tomorrow, isn't it? What is today, Tuesday or Wednesday? Today's Wednesday, I think. I know, here's the problem, is that they don't come up here to the freaking barn. So I don't know where I'd put the feed at. I've thought about putting an automatic feeder up here to where it would dump a little bit of feed So they'd come up in the afternoon. Rufus came up here and said, "What up?" What you doing, big boy? You guys can see that oil on his hooves. They're kind of shiny. There's a fly. I call it a wolf fly. But right where that hoof grows, the skin is thinner right there. And those things can get in there and bite them. And I try to keep them pretty much. Rufus, still got some blue paint on your horn. He's like, yeah, I know. Rough weekend out, bud. You can kind of see the oil on him. Yeah, he's a good boy. He's a good boy. Your hair all growed back nicely where you wore it all off right there. When they're digesting, he's in digesting right now. All that feed he just swallowed, inhaled, and they eat pretty fast because they're all competing over feed. So they all just kind of chill and let their stomachs. I kind of think of it as like a damn washing machine in there, soaking all that compressed, dehydrated pellets, swelling up like rice, and then processing on through. But like when you touch them, like nothing moves. Like you really don't move them. That's the crazy part. Like when you touch them, it's like touching a tree. I know I say that all the time, but it's just so crazy to me that he doesn't move. I can't imagine holding that head up all day. I mean, look how far his head sticks out in front of his front legs. So naturally for a cow is eating right there on the ground. They really don't like to eat up here high. That's why he's coughing and all kinds of shit. When Amanda, I'm always afraid somebody's gonna get their arm broke, so I'm always like, welcome, Marion, I can see it. That's why, like, whenever you hold that up higher, then that's where that feed starts having an issue, and they start coughing their cut up a little bit. So the best place to actually feed them, my opinion, is flat on the ground, because that's where they would eat. How big will they get? He doesn't really have horns. Those are skurs. So if you look these up, you're gonna get into a rabbit hole of shit and try to figure that out. So he has skurs, which are, man, they're their own thing. It's kind of a throwback from the Hereford bloodline. It's not kind of, it is. The skurs necessarily don't attach to the skull. His are, but some skurs don't. Some skurs are like a callus. So you can look it up and it'll tell you it is a horn, but it ain't a horn at the same time. But I can tell you this, he lifted my whole pickup up with one of them. So if them sumbitches ain't attached to something, I don't know how he did that. They do wiggle a little bit. And they always have. Put some more. Nikki, thank you. Jake, thank you. Put towards some oatmeal cream pies. Horse treats for the gang. Yeah, somebody sent me, oh my God, Rufus, you sick bastard. God, I know that splattered on my leg. Sometimes, you know, you can't help but think that he tried to shit on me. I think he squared his butthole up with the camera. And see, that wasn't even like a real poop. That was just like a forced. Sick bastard. It's falling from a long ways too, guys. It splatters. I can see it on the gate from right here. You know it's on me. You know it is. Thank you, Rufus. One other thing that a lot of people don't know is not all cows give the same quality of milk. A beef cow versus dairy. So when you mix a little bit of a dairy breed in with an Angus, then they can grow a calf bigger, faster. I'm not saying you can't run across I was looking at his neck. I don't know what I see on there. But like, who on here follows Dakota Farm? Do y'all follow her? Yeah, True Dairy really grows a good calf. Yeah, so you know how she's doing everybody just learns at their own deal, but like with Rowdy there, I don't know that he's ever nursed those front quarters on her. I've never seen him if he does. And they get big, and they'll either do nature will make them do one of two things. They will dry up. There is a chance they could get mastitis. You just got to make sure that they're still flexible and not getting hard. That's not real typical. But you'll notice that those front ones have deflated a lot since he's grown. You can see how big he is. So it'll make those rear 2 quarters. There's 4 quarters. So you got your 2 rear, 2 fronts. I don't know that I've ever seen him nurse a front quarter. You know, it just happens. Sometimes a quarter's dry. So she was really super panicked about her cow's udder, but a lot of times they don't nurse a certain quarter, and it's fine. It's actually really common. And now she's just like a female human. She'll produce as much milk as he needs. But she's capable because she has dairy blood in her. So she's capable of feeding several. Now, if she was full blood Angus, she probably wouldn't produce rich enough milk to feed more than her own. He gets rough. Yeah, he really stimulates all that button stimulates her udder. And I've seen calves that were 1,000 pounds that just got missed from weaning and lift the whole mom off the ground when they butter. How do the cattle and horses beat the heat? I know the farm see the cattle in Florida keeps the herd and treats. There's really no. I did a video on this the other day, showing the extreme cold to the extreme heat. And these guys have gone from last winter at -20 to this summer, day before yesterday, I think it was around 103 or 104 degrees. So you got 124 degrees. So then I started looking up other stuff, and it turns out that as far as a, as far as a, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like a pet animal, a domesticated animal. Cattle are actually, I couldn't find anything hardier than cows, believe it or not. Like, I looked through everything for a domestic animal. I couldn't find anything except for the closest thing I found was a goat. but they don't like being wet. Cows don't care. Wet, rain, snow. Like, obviously, they're probably more uncomfortable in the wet cold, but does it affect their weight gain and their, yeah, I think I'm Scottish. Did you look it up? How do you decide if you keep calf, a bull, a steer? Well, that's a tough one because I don't really need any more bulls, but we're going to leave Rowdy because I should have abandoned him a long time ago if I was going to. But he just has he's built really, really well. Love from Australia, buddy. Thank you. I got me some emus. I don't know if you've seen that. I know that's not how y'all pronounce it, but I'm going to call me and my gang the Thunder Chickens, unless it's already been used. So it's going to be me and the Thunder Chickens against Rufus, unless we all become friends. Now, there is that option. I don't think Rufus is going to like them, but he doesn't really like anything unless he can breed it. So me, the Thunder Chickens. I have a feeling, man, they're gonna be fun. Everybody's so worried to death I'm gonna get hurt by one, and I just looked it up, and it says 0 fatalities by a emu. Now, how embarrassing would that be if I get taken out by an emu and be the first person that has? Thunder Chickens. I keep calling them chickens, and the man is like, they're not chickens, they're emus. Let me tell you who's gonna be scared to death of them. Big Boss. She's gonna be scared to death of them. I've taken her to the zoo. And okay, listen to me. Every animal has its own personality. I think we've discovered that from these guys. But that's kind of what I wanted to show too on here. But I guarantee you, there's a emu out there somewhere that's going to be as bad as Rufus, and there's probably one out there as nice as Rhonda. Now, which one did I get? Cookies is going to be a problem. I can already tell you. He's been looking at me weird, and like he's already eaten a whole bunch of flies out of his deal. He chases shit around. Cream is one of the blonde ones. I'm pretty sure Cream hatched out and like I bought it. You know what I mean? Like that one was like super still sleepy and like lethargic, and I'm like, this one's gonna die on me. Anyways, Amanda was so mad at me because that one looked like it wasn't gonna make it for a while, and then she starts panicking, and she's like, you go check them every morning. And I didn't this morning actually. But no, he has improved every day. I say we don't know what they are. Apparently you can't tell what they are until they're mature or you do a blood test. The guy told me that you could take a pair of nail clippers and clip their toenail back just a little bit and get some blood and then test that. We should do that. I always come up with these grand ideas. Where do you get an emu gender test at? Emus are smart. I don't know about that. Maybe. Maybe they're, I don't know. I'm going to find out. I've always wanted them. I've been around ostriches. Now, ostriches, them some bitches there, I bet you, somebody Google that. I bet you they've taken out people. I guarantee you that. Them some bitches are big. Hell, they get like 8 or 9 foot tall, don't they? Like, those suckers are scary. Are you going to buy? No, I already bought 2. I bought a blonde one and I bought a ostrich. That's what I wanted, was an ostrich. But Amanda's the sound-minded one of us, so, which has nothing to do with that. But I told her, I was like, look at him laying down and nursing. You lazy. He could be part Rufus if he's laying down trying to nurse. No, he's not. He's definitely Redford's. They're at the house. I've got some videos of them on here. Roxanne's going to flip the trough over to get that little dab of feed up underneath there. Watch out, God, you almost stepped right on Rowdy's nutsack. Roxanne, that trough is heavy. It's treated to about 6 to 16 foot. And it's got some 4x4 blocks screwed on, I thought. It's 110 degrees in the garage. I actually, I actually put a thermometer out there because Amanda was like, it's too hot or it's not hot enough. So the problem is one's 2 weeks old. Well, he needs about a 6 degree difference. Yep, Rhea Ripley if it's a girl, yep. Sure enough, Rhea. It's cooled off a little bit. It's not supposed to be record-breaking heat today, I don't think. Lazy bastards, that's right. Hang on, let me read that. My friend bought a son, canary bird. I had no idea what it was. The vet said it's hard to tell, but it's a boy, so. Well, this guy that I got these from raised shit tons of them, and he's like, I was joking. I said, well, it must be a boy because I can see its pecker right there. And I was pointing at its beak. Nobody thought that joke was funny. I said, his beak. And everybody just looked at me. And I met the guy at Brahms. I like to tell you guys the real life events. I don't like to sugarcoat anything. But anyways, we met at Brahms. We went in because we were about 30 minutes ahead of him. And ate. And I was like, hell, should we get this little boy a hamburger or something? And Amanda was like, no, you don't meet somebody from Facebook and bring them a hamburger from Brahms. I was like, well, hell, you've been driving. I would have appreciated it. I don't know if I'd have ate it after she made it weird. And then I asked him if he would have eaten one if I had bought it for him. And he just looked at me. And I said, well, you fucking DoorDash stuff. What do you think I'm going to do? Poison you and take away the Cash App I sent you? I'm going to try to be friends with my emus, but, you know, me and Rufus are buddies. He tries to smash me, but he does it in the most gentlest ways. If you've ever seen him in full speed, you wouldn't even get in there with him. When I see him and Redford and him were fighting, the speed is just absolutely insane. I thought about making a shirt of me in the air like the guy up in where we got hit by that buffalo with Rufus chasing me. I thought that'd be funny. But then Amanda was like, yeah, you're jinxing yourself. You're going to jinx yourself. Rufus's horn's turned down, so he's going to crush you against the ground. That's the difference between being able to hook you and crush you. Rufus has learned how to crush. Most bulls learn how to hook. Rufus is a crusher and not a hooker. That sounded weird, but you know what I mean. But a lot of people also don't know this. His nose, his whole nose from his eyeballs down to the pink part of his nose is like about an 8-inch piece of solid steel pipe. It's not soft. It's very hard. It's as hard as these posts. And that's what they fight with. So Redford fights with that. Rufus's horns turned down, so he fights with that too. Buffalo's hook. Yeah, they got, yeah. I was watching, I've been watching Useless Farms on here. I don't know if y'all watch her or not. She's funny. She's got the emus. I've always watched her. But she was live yesterday, so I got on her live and watched her. She's got a shitload of animals. She's got all kinds of shit. I'm like, God dang, I couldn't keep up with all that. But I want to say, you know, we usually have between 600 and 1,100 people in here just for a breakfast time, not even anything crazy going on. Um, but I have the higher quality of lazy bastards. You know what I mean? Like, y'all can't help it. I can't help it. It's just how we molded into one giant lazy bastard. So I tell my friends, I may not come pick you up at 2 a.m., but I'm going to send you an Uber. Okay? I may not come get you, but I'll book you. I'll get you an Uber, send them up here to get you. You know what I mean? That's the kind of lazy bastard quality we are. Like, we're going to take care of you, but not personally take care of you. You know what I mean? Cicadas, and they're going to get louder and louder, and y'all are going to get sick of them. And it's funny, we're going to go from the mic not working and just hearing my voice to the bugs of summer are about to go insane. And it gets so bad, I'm going to have to yell to talk over them in the afternoons. I was a lazy piece of shit yesterday for the first time in forever. I went back to the house at about 3, and I watched World War Z and something else. I slept through World War Z until the end of it. I watched the first part and the end of it. I've got about an hour and 20-minute nap every once in a while I'll get into. I've been pretty lazy lately, actually. I just got back from a damn fishing trip, which I had to work my ass off on there. It was a one-dayer in Hagen. It wasn't even a one-dayer. We left at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was great, though. I did meet with the electrician yesterday. I did drop my axle off for my trailer to get fixed, and I did call Polaris. I called Polaris yesterday. I was on one too yesterday. I was like, well, if I'm not going to be out the farm working, I'm going to call some people. Do you show your cattle at the state fair? No, not really. Well, no, not at all. They're not really show quality. These guys got they got mental problems. Each one of them in their own special way. We try to keep them away from the public as much as possible. You can give them a shot that'll make them stay calm. I've never done that, but Rufus spotted something. Roxanne looking at something hard over here. But see those front 2 quarters on her? I don't know if y'all can see. Well, she moved her leg, but cows are very flexible too, man. Don't think they're not. Lizzie got to go. No problem. Each one of them's got like a little issue, like a little tick. Biscuits and gravy. Maybe they've been staying down there in the shade. I saw 2 does I've not seen driving in today. One giant old blue doe. She's kind of gray in the face. She is gigantic. What are the best and worst parts about owning cattle? The best parts, just the satisfaction you get from growing them and Like if you like that kind of thing, it's kind of like it'd be like asking you the same thing about a dog, basically. If you're raising them to sell, it has a whole different feel to it. You know what I mean? Nobody's got names, that kind of thing. Like this place here, one of the best things that they do for me is they keep my place clean. I spend a lot of money on this place to keep the grass growing for them, but they also keep the brush down. They keep all the weeds down, they keep the brush down, they keep everything down. An old man about 4 years ago, and I've had that on my brain since I went back in there and got that wooden carving of Rufus. I just had maybe, it's probably been 3 years ago. We didn't have a ton of followers then, and I gave him I didn't even know it, but I gave his page a shout out, and I thought he did these things kind of for a living, and then he got like 900 orders or something in a row, and he texts me and he goes, "Hey, whoa, everybody wants one of these things." He goes, "Hell, I can't even carve." Anyways, I need to check on him and see how he's doing. You know, I've met so many people on here, so many different people, you lose track of people. But that was one of the first things somebody had ever sent me. I thought it was really cool. He's a veteran, super good dude. His page had a bunch of dogs where he done, where people had lost a dog or a pet, whatever, and he had hand carved them from photos. But man, he nailed Rufus. It's a piece of live edge walnut, I think is what it's on. Sitting on a laundromat, waiting on it to dry. Redford will never have horns. His breed, you really, in any of the beef stock, they don't want horns. Like you're seeing most of the time when you look out in the field and you see a bunch of horns, you're seeing cows. Well, they'll take horned cows and breed them back to a bull without horns so that they'll have a really good chance of throwing a calf that doesn't have horns. Yeah, that's a cow pond right down there. Oh yeah, Roxanne will have the cleanest baby out here. She grooms everybody. Don't forget this like button, thank you. Emus are nuts, dude. Good, they'll fit right in. Well, is that Olivia? I've always enjoyed cows. My dad raised cows. We never had many. They were always bottom of the barrel. So dairy farms, I don't know if everybody knows how this works or not, but a dairy farm takes the babies off the mamas. When they're bulls, when the cow throws a bull calf, that bull calf is a dairy breed. It's a Holstein, Jersey, Swiss, whatever it is. Well, they do not put the meat on like a beef cow. There's two different breeds. Well, there's hundreds of breeds, but let's just break it into two different ones, dairy and beef. So when you take a dairy bull, he's only good for one thing, and you only need one. Well, say they're milking 500 head of dairy cows, and you have 250 bull calves out of that. So those will all be turned into steers, raised out, and then they get butchered. So in order to milk the cows, you don't want the cows nursing, you want to milk the cow. So the calves will be sold or kept and fed milk replacer so that they can sell their milk. Or they're fed milk from a cow that may have an infection and she may have antibiotics in her bloodstream or something that they can't put into their tank because they test those tanks 2 to 3 times a day to make sure that they didn't miss a cow that had some kind of medication. And it's one worse thing that a dairy farmer can do is to milk a cow with an antibiotic or anything in their milk, because they test it about 1,000,000 times. And if they milk a cow that had a shot or something like that, or colostrum, look at him stretch out. That's a great picture. He's getting pretty. Look at that hump. He is going to make an outstanding bull. So anyways, the dairy calves is what are the cheapest ones on the planet. So when you buy used to different breeds, the real small ones, they would, no, we eat a lot of beef. You could almost, they would give you, y'all remember the show, or the movie, oh shit, what was the name of that? City Slickers, my favorite word. Do y'all remember that movie? Do y'all remember the calf that he pulled in the middle of the movie? And then he raised it. I think there's a City Slickers 2 even. If you remember that movie, that calf was not from that cow. That calf was a full-blood Holstein calf from a dairy. So they went and got a calf from a dairy farm, and then that's what he ended up raising. And morning, Ross. So anyways, that was a big old Jersey in the second movie for sure, when he's running down the street, or maybe the end of the first one. But anyways, that's the breed that you can buy cheap. So that's what my dad would buy, and then we would raise them. Norman, yep. Nancy, me, Rufus, and Roxanne are all like connected at the hip. I would say I would have to put it in order that they came, if I had to. But they're all so different in their personalities. But what my dad would do, he'd go to dairy farms, and we didn't have any money per se at all. So what my dad would do is he would go to dairy farms, and he would go and he would talk to them in the spring of the year. And when they had a calf that they didn't think there was any way it was going to make it, they would give it to my dad so he could haul it off. Sorry, somebody called again. Well, my mom would nurse them back to health if there was any way possible. So we lost a lot, but we didn't have anything invested in them. So my dad would go through. Oh, rough. Stepped on a rock. So anyways, that's what, when I was a kid, see, they all look the same size till you get the camera angle right, and then everybody looks the size they're supposed to be. So anyways, my mom would nurse them back to health. We would raise them on bottles, and they would always be stunted. They wouldn't grow worth the shit, because nothing does good on milk replacer. Roxanne could barely reach the top of his back to lick him. So what we did was we bought, or was given, calves, and we would get as many as we could. And then that's where the money comes in. Milk replacer is very expensive. It's more, it takes one bag of milk replacer to raise a calf, like I don't know, it's about $100 for a bag. Well, a lot of times the calves were only worth $50 if you bought one. So you had to add a bag of milk replacer. So if you had one that got older and you had fed it a whole bag of milk replacer, then it died on you, you were out a lot of money back then, for sure. So anyways, that's what we did. We raised bottle calves. I've got a couple pictures of my dad I found with a bunch of our Holstein bottle calves that we raised. I'll have to make a little thing. So I went to the same dairy farm, and sometimes the dairy farmer, if he has enough cows and he has enough, if he has enough cows and he has enough replacement heifers that year, he will breed his cows back to a beef bull so that all of his dairy cows will have a mix and they bring more money. Otherwise, he breeds them back to the same kind of dairy. So Rufus there was on a year where he had AI'd his cows to a Hereford bull. And Herefords actually give really good milk too. So sometimes when you cross some of those really the really beefy breeds that give good milk too, you can get a great big souped up dairy cow. So Rufus was supposed to have been a great big souped up dairy cow, but he came out a boy. And he was one of the only ones that came out red and white. I think there was a total of 3 out of 150 that came out red and white, or maybe there was 4. I think there was 4, and the other ones were girls. And I think I know where they're at. I've been trying to get the location of these things where I could just drive by and look at them. I just wanted to see what they look like because they're cows, not bulls, but I wanted to see how tall they were. You know, I've seen cows 20, 30 years old. You just never know. You never know. That's the thing. Like, I would love to say he's got 20 years left in him, but he could get something bad happen to him, and God forbid, and yeah, I never know. That's why we just gonna appreciate every day. And he's good and healthy right now. He's really big, he's really heavy, which downplay everything on lifespans, as you know, for most animals. The bigger and the heavier knocks a little time off of them, but we take really good care of him. So just staying ahead of things that we see will definitely help him. Getting him too fat is not going to help him. He's really not too fat. He was in better shape when Redford was with him. So I'm going to bounce old Rowdy around and from pen to pen and let him get him work back into shape this winter. So it should be pretty interesting. Rowdy's not going to be big enough to hurt anybody for a year or so, and they should have a good time. It'll be fun to see old Rufus on his tiptoes again. Oh yeah, we got the emus coming. Listen, guys, I don't know how that's gonna go. We'll see. Was anybody listening to that, or was I on mute? Sometimes I just ramble on about stupid shit, but I was trying to give you kind of a background on the dairy versus beef and I know it doesn't make a lot of sense to some people, but what I'm getting at is you can take a dairy cow and you put multiple calves on her because a quart of her milk is the same as about 3 gallons of a beef cow's, if that makes sense. That's why there's a breed just for milk and a breed for beef. But that dairy cow can raise a calf twice as fast, but it's not as meaty. So you come out at the end of the day with about the same thing. It's all about converting that calf to weight. I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you this right now. If one of these emus is a girl, I'm gonna fry me a damn emu egg when them suckers start laying eggs. Everybody's gonna be like, you need to incubate it. I don't want a damn 100 million of these son of bitches. Fact check, Brent. Check it. Did you miss something? Where's Redford? He's right up there in the shade. Oh, I called them, and guess what they did? All they did was I said, "Hey, I'm Brent with Rufus the Bull. Give me what kind of deal can you make me on a Polaris?" I said, "We've tagged you about 50 million, 45, 50 million times, and what kind of deal y'all got?" I didn't say give me something. You know what they did? They knocked like $500 off a $25,000 Polaris. And I'm like, okay. Well, then I didn't even know Polaris had bought out. Um, what is it? Kawasaki. I didn't know that. Did y'all know that? I guess because they deal the same shit here. I can't let the Polaris die, man. Like that thing is its own character. That I would be as heartbroken if the Polaris died as I would be if any. Well, nah, I probably wouldn't be, but it'd be sad. Okay. And right now, I tore the. Well, I always blame it on myself, but somebody tore the front A arm off the front right ball joint broke. They're just all trying to stay cool right now. I didn't even know it was 500 off, man. That was off the fucking sticker price. I was like, dude, come on. Well, first I called and they're like, we don't have any salesmen available. And I said, how in the hell does a damn four-wheeler shop not have a salesman available? Anyways, I was really rattling their cage yesterday. I didn't get anywhere. Had them. Go down there and see if we can get near old Rufus. Rufaloo. What you doing, bud? People said you would like some pets, but I don't know that they know necessarily that you don't really care for them as much as they think that sometimes you do like some scratches. You been scratching on that tree, bud? See him stick his head down. He does like that. He's hard as a brick wall. His hair is super short. I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but his hair is short. I can't read and talk at the same time, or scratch at the same time. So hang on, Roof. What are you doing, bud? You can kind of see his hair. You can see how short it is. It is like maybe quarter inch. What have you been scratching on to rub your hair off, Roof? You found something. Did y'all just hear that horse fly over? Sound like a helicopter. See, he's good and oily. I don't know if you can see it or not, but like if you take and you rub him, you can see the oil. Part of that is they're just greasy anyways, so not as bad as a horse, but horses are really greasy. Maybe that's why they make glue out of them, I don't know. But if you rub around on a horse like this, you're gonna be covered in a grease almost. He's standing in a hole right here. Paisley's coming out today. I forgot about that. Yeah, her and one of her girlfriends are coming out here today. Good boy, Ruth. Good boy, Ruth. Wish y'all could see how big his neck is from looking down from the top. It's just massive. I bet it's as big around as a 55-gallon barrel. Well, it's 90, what we measured at, 90 something inches. Videos do no justice. See, when he's nice like this, it makes me see how his neck's bigger than his head? It doesn't look like it on camera, does it? But his neck is just massive. Look at that muscle. Everybody's like, said his neck is not 90 inches around. I'm like, okay, well, I measured it. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry for telling you what it was. And he's about as long as a school bus. He is so long. Let me scooch all the way back here. Whoops. They got these big old hip bones right here. If they ever get down where you can't get them up, there's a tool that goes around these. It's not the gentlest tool, but it's a big metal ring, goes around here, it goes around that one. It clamps in the middle, and then you can pick them up to get them walking again. Rufus, should we get on your back to scratch you? No. It's too hot for that. We'll just let you enjoy some scratches instead of messing with you. How's that? These right here that look like scratches is just the hair. It's not a scratch actually into the skin. I check everything. He's relaxed right now because he's just 8. This is the time of day you can actually mess with him without getting hurt. For the most part, you just can't ever trust him. I've got him in a peculiar spot right here. He's up against this tree and against this fence, and it can get bad in a spot like this if you're not paying attention. Because bulls, if they think that they're getting boxed in, he can just spin around right here and rip the fence is what's going to give, not the tree. And if you're between it, you just got to pay attention to shit like that all the time. Because you just never know. He can smell something or see something and think he's getting charged by another bull. Bulls, older bulls are always on the lookout. It's just their instincts, like the mama to take care. He doesn't like when I talk. Hey, Roof-a-Loof. Big old dude. Never thought he would get this big. They claim if you pick up your calf every day, twice a day, that you can pick it up when it's grown. I don't know who they are, but I don't know that it'd be fun to try to pick them up. Be fun to get in there and put your arms around them, you know it? It's off limits. No. See, he's wedged in that tree. Don't do it, Rufus. I wasn't plotting nothing. See, he didn't like that spot. But I'm smart enough to see it coming. about got that tree polished up. Maybe I should bring some of your scratchers up here and put on there. Really not scratching. He's marking. Grass puppy. I remember that one time I called him a grass puppy and he about flipped me over. Yeah, his neck's a lot bigger than you think. On video, it isn't really. Everybody that's came out, he's only met a handful of people ever. He's scratching his ass on that fence right now. But everybody that's came out, that's watched him for years on camera, some of my family, they finally come out and they're just like, nobody wants to approach him. They're like, that's not enough fence. There's not enough fence there. Well, that was before I put all this wooden fence in. People feel more secure with this stuff. But when you stick your arms over a barbed wire fence to pet him, you're just gonna get scratched. This stuff here will smash you up again it. Is the service cutting it out? Because my feed just stopped for a second. Whose neck will be bigger? 2,000 or 3,000 pounds. I wonder what he weighs now. I was looking at some of his videos. See, it's been about 19 months ago now when we weighed him. And I was looking at his videos, and he's definitely grown. Look, I see a damn dog. Oh, I know whose dog that is. That's my neighbor's dog. But I want y'all to look at something. Look at this. Redford's laying over there like an old man with his belly sticking up. Look at him. Yeah, he's not chunky. Redford's like, I see you. I would cut the tree. No, that's what he itches on. That's my only shade for my corral. I left those 3 there because they won't really reach my barn, and they shade my corral a little bit. And they're a pretty good windbreak this winter from the north. Oh yeah, Redford's flipped it so many times. Just the ones on camera is all the ones that I've been able to post. If y'all only knew how many times he's flipped it. It used to really suck too because I didn't have roads to get out here. So you had to go through the woods and all kinds of shit to get back out here with the tractor to flip the Ranger back over. So, but anyways, I don't know what he'll weigh now. He's definitely bigger. I don't know. He just seems like, and cows in general just seem like they keep growing. Like he's 6 years old. I can tell for sure from videos that Roxanne's gotten bigger, wider, longer. So all of them in the past 6 years have continued to grow. Redford has only met Rowdy through the fence. So he's got a few more months before. Are you not scared? Of what part? I'm not really scared of any of these guys. They can scare you, yes. The only time, I could probably count on one hand how many times I've actually been scared and thought I was cooked. Most of the time, when you work with these guys all the time, you get madder. You get mad when they're trying to be aggressive towards you because all you've done is take care of them. So it's kind of like if your kids get aggressive towards you, you get really mad. So Rufus has made me very, very mad one day when he was actually out to get me, and he was hell bent to get me, and almost did. And he hates that. And let me tell you, he can do just like that and smash your toes if you're not careful. But it's one of those things where you get really pissed off whenever he's playing and he's having a good time. It's different. I don't know why. But when he's mad and he has a mad look on his face, see, moving a little faster now. Things changed a little bit since he ate. But people hurt is not paying attention, like not knowing that between those trees and the fence, and if anything happens, he's gonna turn around and you're on the fence. It's gonna move. The thing with bulls is you just keep enough cows with them that you can contain them. So he's looking around to see you all still here. He's always looking to see who's where, even though Redford's on the other side of the fence, it doesn't matter. They're hardwired. That's his job. That's the only thing he does. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't do anything. You have no job, Rufus. Your job is to eat, make babies, and tear up shit of mine. I should measure this part of him. Hey, man. I need to put their concrete feed trough up here. I keep thinking my guy's gonna bring me a load of hay. But that distance from there to there, I don't know what it is, but my feet are like right here. And I have pretty long legs, but it was funny when I sat on him that day. Rufus, don't flip it all the way over, man. There's nothing under it. Oops, I missed something. Hang on one second. I need to take that apart. He's going to end up breaking that thing when I'm not paying attention. Good morning, Brian. Who would win? Rufus of the full-grown 8-foot, 9-foot Sasquatch. Also, how do you think old Rufus would react to it? Thank you for your content. Hunter from Bama. Man, okay, so cows and horses are really weird when it comes to something they haven't seen. They don't know what it is, what it's going to do, and how it acts. So when you put something in here, like me in the inflatable outfits, the dinosaur and shit, Rufus is gone. He's out. Now that only lasts so long. Once he gets used to it, then once he figures out what it's about, then that, did y'all just hear that? That was Rowdy. Let's see if he'll do it again. I don't know if y'all can see Roxanne's face over here, but she started looking to see what he was talking about. Yeah, Rowdy's down there. That's Roro over there, but Rowdy's right behind us in that tree. And he yelled at something over on the other side of the fence, probably those deer. I think sometimes they confuse deer for other calves and they're just talking. If he was talking to Roxanne, she would have said something back. As weird as that sounds, why do I know that? But she's over here watching now and see what he's got going on down there. Rowdy could be talking to a damn bear or something for all she knows. Look at her, she's got her ears pointing right at him. That's Roro there, Rowdy's down. He's about 75 yards from here. Roxanne is a really good mama, a really, really good one. Those little small rocks in here get underneath Rufus's feet. How do I think Ruby's gonna do with the baby? Well, it's Redford has a bigger calf than Rufus, believe it or not. He throws a bigger calf, which he shouldn't from the breed he is, but he does. Rufus throws a little bitty calf. That's the only thing I'm worried about. If it was a Rufus calf, I wouldn't be worried at all. But since it's Redford, and Roxanne had a harder time for sure than she has with Rufus's calves. I don't know. You just never know. It's a heifer. She's not had anything yet. She's good size. She comes from good genetics. Well, I'll tell you what, she's getting up and laying down a bunch right now, and she's really stretching her pelvis. I don't know if y'all can see or not, but right now she's humped up right now. She's pooping, but when she stood up, she's been humped up, and you can see that. When she's humped up like that, you can really see that dent back there softening on that tail. So things are changing. Things are changing by the day right now. So I don't know how many more days she's got, but I definitely wouldn't go anywhere for the next week or so. Me being me, because it could happen any day now. I got all my cameras tuned back up. So the only thing I worry about more in the summertime is the damn buzzards, those damn short-winged buzzards. I hate those things. Later. See ya. Her bag is good size. That's that dairy breed showing back up. They love pumpkin, but if it's cold, they do not like it. I heard him. Gosh dang it, here it is, 83 minutes deep right now. I told y'all we wasn't gonna sit here and bullshit all day. You can tell I'm really motivated to do much. It's kind of like in the January when you're in the middle of a cold front, and right now, the hottest days of the year, it's just, there's gonna be plenty of days to get shit done. No point in getting crazy. Yeah, her bag has really gotten big since yesterday. I can see about a third of a difference right now. I know, poor old Ruby, but it's got its benefits this summer too. She didn't got to worry about an ice storm or a snowstorm and all that stuff. But she got to worry about flies and buzzards, and them two are always fighting with each other. Is the mouse still in the Ranger? I'm sure I need to be working on it, and I got over here and forgot my toolbox, but I think I have enough stuff up here in the other barn to get it off there. It's not gonna be here till Friday anyways, so it doesn't even matter. Good afternoon, Brent. What time is it? Shit the bed. Is there a snake problem on your farm often? There's not been, well, there used to be. With all the cows, it's not. They've actually run the snakes out of here a lot, keeping the brush down, keeping the mice down. keeping the grass eaten down, you know, it starts a whole chain of events. You get rid of the mice, and you get rid of the snakes, and you know, each thing kind of follows a little bit. It just pushes them out a little bit, you know. Before, there was nothing in here, brush, trees, and there was lots of copperheads. It's 4:02 p.m. in the UK. All right. So where you at? Have you seen Muffin Son? Oh yeah, I'm good friends with Matt. Great dude. Me and him talked last night. There's just a few people that I talked to, creators that I talked to. Matt's one of them. When I first got to doing this stuff, I was talking to a lot of different people. And boy, did I learn the hard way that people have different agendas. Forget the toolbox, so I take the day off. Well, that's what I thought too, actually. I don't really need to do it till Friday, but I'm gonna go rent an excavator. I was thinking last night I need to do some dozer work. Look, they're all running. They're like, we're out of here, dude. It gets hot up here. I was thinking, why don't I go ahead and get the dozer and start doing some dozer work? Because they have an air conditioner in them. While it's too hot to do anything, would probably be a smarter thing for me to do right now. And the man's like, you just want to play with the bulldozer? And I'm like, duh. I was gonna show y'all roofs and everybody. Went down there to get them a drink of water. Being a farmer is extremely expensive. It is expensive. Everything is so much. Like, I was gonna run my power down here with power poles, and they wanted well, it's about $8,000 to run my power down here with power poles with the power company. And I'm like, God, I gotta be able to do it cheaper than that. So I went and priced the wire yesterday. It's $3 a foot. $3 a foot. I'm like, okay, well, to that power pole right there, it's 800 feet. So I'm like, okay, then the conduit is about $360 a foot. And I'm like, oh, man, I got to go from that pole down here and then across. So I'm like, oh, great. So I want to be able to run an arc welder and shit down here, so I need at least a 200 amp service. Yeah, there you go, right there. Struggle. Exactly. Everything is $10,000. Literally everything I've started is $10,000. So it's about 7 to get power down here and 3 to my house. And I said, so if I rent an excavator, I already have it here, I could go ahead and trench it in. And then Amanda's like, well, do you want to do the floor in your barn? Do you want to do electricity to your barn? Do you want to do the framing in the house? Do you want to do the well pump? Each one of those things I just named is 10 to 12,000. And I'm like, we just need to stop for a month or two and make some money and just let the dust settle for a minute. You know what I mean? Well, so I committed to the house, putting the power to the house, of course, and we committed to the well. So the power to the house is only like $3,500, but I'm gonna have the excavator here. So in order to save money, I can go ahead and trench down here, but if I don't put the wire and the conduit in, it's gonna fill in. It's one of those things, you know what I mean? Like, anyways, it's just part of it. I'm not complaining. It's just, I'm stuck between everything right now trying to, I know. So So here's what I'm gonna do is Amanda and them are going on a little trip, and I got the electrician coming, and I'm gonna have him run the power. Don't tell her I don't think she's on here right now. I'm gonna have him run the power to the house, and I'm gonna have him go ahead and put the Scuffy Dolls. You didn't have to do that. I'm not on here griping because I'm poor. I'm just griping because I don't know where to spend money. Your content helps me through. I truly appreciate you. I appreciate you too. I really do. That got me about, what would that get me? About 100 foot of power. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. I'm going to get, I got the fans, which are not going to be what she wants. I know that she's going to be stuck with them, but I got 4 fans. God, how big is your finger, dude? I got 4 fans and light fixtures for the porch, and I'm gonna get those put on with the power. It'll all just be ran off a breaker, but whenever she comes to see, I'm gonna bring her over here at night when they get back and be able to turn the breaker on and have lights all the way around the porch with fans. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Sausage finger. I forgot I was zoomed. God, my finger. That's my plan, if I can get all that to come together. Is anybody in Florida right now on here? Who's in Florida? Is anybody down there on here? I'm in Orlando. Okay, what's the weather gonna be doing next week? Amanda and Paisley are going down there to go to Universal, and she's freaking out right now because I guess there's a wherever Universal is. Is anybody down that way? Can you give me an update to soothe me some? Extremely hot and rainy every day in Florida. I know that, but there's a tropical storm coming, I think. They're supposed to leave Saturday, this Saturday. It's in Orlando. I think it's saying the weather is going to be really bad. I told her, I was like, just make the best of whatever it is. I couldn't afford a door, so I put me a flag here, and I love it. I think it'll stay even when my door goes in. I've got a really big flagpole. I'm gonna put right out there on that hump. I thought the storm looked like it was going to hit New Orleans too, but maybe it's going to turn back or something. I know, but somebody's saying extended forecast said for next week. Hurricane Brenna's in Arkansas. No, Amanda and Paisley are going to go to Universal, so I was just worried about them going down there. I would just go, and who cares? It rains every day down there anyways. It rains every day. I don't care what the weather looks like. It's going to rain. Well, I told Amanda to go to town and get me some stuff for my barn. And I thought she was going to get me like a table and a couple chairs. And she came back with a speaker and an American flag. And I'm like, I mean, I like where you were headed with that. But so the first thing that was on the barn was the American flag. Theme parks are better when it's raining less. Okay, good. Rain and shine, low 70s. For next week, though, that's what we're after. I just didn't know if there was any natives that could give her some sound advice here. No. Hey, I got two buddies of mine. I got two, Tony Munford, one other guy. I can't think of it. Who or where were they? Anyways, two of my buddies, black guys, and they have Confederate flags in the back of their truck everywhere they go. Now they're wild as a March hare, but a lot of people see it as a symbol of like racist stuff. But I wouldn't try to take it out of the back of their truck. You know what I'm saying? So they look at things differently. Great guys though. My one buddy, hey, do whatever you want to do. I don't care whatever you want to do. It floats your boat. But they cracked me up because they went. Him and my other buddy went chasing these guys. I grew up with. I haven't talked to them in years, but I do follow them on Facebook some, and I still see. But they chase tornadoes, or no, they don't chase them. They were going to chase tornadoes, and they were over in Oklahoma. And anyways, they caught a tornado and just about died. So if that tells you the caliber, like they got in front of it, they're live feeding, and it wasn't very big. It was like an EF0. Anyways, the joking and bullshitting all went away when they got in the middle of it. What the funniest part was, it was like a bench seat in the truck, and they had the middle seatbelt wrapped around them and shit. Like they looked like they were in a spider web of seatbelts. I was literally dying laughing. I know. One of them, I don't want to even mention any names, but one of them is black. One of them is pretty much 100% Native American. I don't know from what tribe, but they're the two funniest dudes you'll ever meet. It's just where would these two guys, they become friends back in school when you're little, and they've stayed like brothers ever since. It's funny. They're just funny together. Like one day I'm sitting at the gas station and they pull in, and I'm like 20 years old, 19, something like that. About to graduate high school. I'm kidding. But they come pulling in the gas station and just toast one of those big old, they just put brakes on their truck, and they're come flying in the gas station, and brakes went out, and they hit one of those giant baller posts in front of the gas station, just totaled the truck out. They get out and they're still just yelling and hollering. Cracked me up. I know, but don't tell Paisley there was no tornado activity in that storm. It was just a thunderstorm, non-tornadic. So I wouldn't take her if we were going to something. But it was fun. Like you never really know around here. And it did have some hail in it and some real violent wind and shit. So you never really know. Everybody that was, if you've seen the video of me, Amanda, and Paisley sitting on the front porch right there, and there's a storm back that way, you can see it. There was a tornado at the same time we were videoing that. There was a tornado on the ground. I mean, like maybe 3/4 of a mile right over there, and it went through our neighbor's farm. That same day, the same time, it was an EF0. It wasn't very big. It was only about 20 foot wide, 30 foot wide, but it tore some shit up. I could hear it. I was like, I hear a tornado. Like I can hear it. It's rain wrapped in all that rain. And one thing about it, if you're from around here, when you get a lot of lightning around here, it seems like that's when you get a tornado. And when it's hotter than shit and it's raining and it's not cooled off, that's when you pretty much are screwed. see if I can get y'all where you can see. Roxanne has started eating this stuff out of my pond, and I hope it's okay. But she's out there right now like a water buffalo. Let me see if I can get this stuff shaking here. See her out there munching. It didn't get too much. We stopped and it did blow a shitload of shingles off, tear up an outbuilding, and it blew some trees down on the road. But we stayed up here for about an hour. What was funny was when we pulled out onto the main road down here, one of the storm chasers, I don't know if y'all see them or not, but the storm chasers we're right here by where all the shit happens in Oklahoma, but we're on the Arkansas side. But anyways, one of the storm chasers we met on the road, and Paisley's like really into this storm stuff right now. So we ran, I was like, hey, that's one of the storm chasers. And Paisley's like, oh yeah. And then we started driving around the tree in the road. And I was like, holy shit, there was a tornado. Like we were really paying attention in Ohio. Oh God, the storm chaser people, they're always out here doing something. So the way that we're facing right here, like, anyways, the way that my farm faces is there's a crossroad, a major crossroad that runs north and south, and it's about 25 miles long. And it is like the tornado alley of my area. Like everything comes from the west, it runs north and south. So the storm chasers have a 25-mile strip there to get in front of the storm. Anyways, that road is where they all try to intercept everything at because it's a big, straight, good road. And it pretty much runs with the Arkansas-Oklahoma line. We're just about through it right now. One of the worst tornadoes we ever had near here, was only about a mile from here, or less. And yeah, it got several of my neighbors down there, a couple real old men, real old couple, in their dairy barn. This is like, and the craziest part, it was New Year's night. It was either New Year's night or New Year's Eve in January. It was one of the baddest ones we've had. Butler weed. I think what they're eating right there is that seed I put in, and that right there is where that spring runs in. I don't think they're eating the weed. I don't think Roxanne will eat anything. I don't know how I would get her out of it if it was something. But I think they're eating a bunch of ryegrass right there from all that seed I put into this little ditch. And it's right there where that water runs in, so it's nice and green. Yeah, welcome. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to talk to Amanda last night. We're going to do a members only live, probably Sunday, so that y'all get some kind of bang for your buck out of this thing. Roxanne is insane when it comes to eating. Like, it is almost to the point, like, I had to dig like 3 years ago. I'll have to repost that video, but I had my whole arm in her throat getting a Mountain Dew can out of her throat. Hagen used to love Mountain Dew. You know, something about Mountain Dew. Cows, they won't touch Pepsi cans really or Coke or anything like that, but Mountain Dew. I had to dig a whole Mountain Dew can out of her throat. Okay, we have everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people requested I do a membership. So in order to help me out, and rather than them sending super chats or whatever they wanted to do, so we started a member You don't have to pay it. You don't have to join it. But I really didn't think we would have anybody in there. But now we got like 130 or 40 people in there. So I feel like I need to do something for those people. So everybody you see with a green name right here with a star by it, those are members. Yeah, it's really super. It's super cool. I mean, you don't have to do it by any means. Um, it's. I'm never going to make content that everybody can't see, but it gives me the options to make content members only get to view for like the first 24 hours. That kind of seems shitty to me. And then, so I've kind of boiled it down to a members only. Yeah, there's all our members. See there? And I've kind of boiled it down to just a one-on-one with each the members only deal, so it'll be a smaller group, and then we can all sit around and bullshit. I screwed up the membership cost too, and I can't change it for a month or something. So, man, you know what? We decided that it's about the cost of a Big Mac from McDonald's, so we figured it was worth one Big Mac from McDonald's. I've been on a Big Mac kick, and that's why I've gained about 7 pounds. So, yeah, we need to pick a time. Yeah, we're going to be on the front porch of the house for that. People are like, Brent, you piece of shit. You're doing a membership only, and they're eating a Big Mac while they're going, Brent, piece of shit. You're eating a Big Mac at the same time you're cussing me. Big Macs are 15. Yeah. Yeah, see? Whoa. Z Marie, welcome. Ross is our ambassador. He usually will greet you, which I think has discouraged some people from joining. But Ross is a good old boy. Look at her. Look at Roxanne down there. She's grooming Ruby right now. Roxanne takes up for everybody. Yeah, I don't know. No, not a Big Mac, a quarter pounder. That's what it's been. I do like a Big Mac though, man. It's that what is that salad dressing they throw on there and make you think it's something special. Did Ross send it? Ross also has sleep. What's the one where you just fall asleep? I always forget the name of it. We think so. He may actually have that. And Amanda told me not to say stuff like that because if somebody does have that, and then I'd be being rude and don't say that. Narcolepsy, that's it. It's funny to think about though, but I have a real strange ability to call out an actual medical issue that you actually have that's like one of the rarest things on the planet, and I can pinpoint it and embarrass myself and everybody else around me. You know, you appreciate your banter. Where are you from, Jay? I don't know that I've ever used banter in a conversation. Oh, guess what I got for the first time ever, guys? I was pretty excited about this last night. Paisley and Amanda were so fired up about it. Guess what I got me some? Wichita Falls, okay. Guess what I got? Guess what I've never worn? It's something I wear. You're full of banter. I think that's a nice way of saying full of shit. Crocs. Somebody guessed it. Delta. How did you guess it? Crocs. I got me some Crocs, and I took my trash can down with them last night, and I felt weird. I felt weird. And you know what? Amanda and Paisley started dying laughing when I put them on. And I was like, because I wear hiking boots. So anytime somebody, once I'm done for the day and I take my boots off and unlace my boots, I keep them super tight. Once I take those off for the day, I'm not going back outside unless I needed to go outside for something, unless there's an emergency. So I forgot to take the trash down the other day, and I was like, man, that gravel is rough on my feet. I only have one pair of shoes, guys, and a pair of cowboy boots. That's it. And I said, man, that gravel will. Paisley and Amanda have a foot that's like this big. So, anyways, I got me some Crocs now. And they died laughing at me because they've never seen me in Crocs ever. And I'll be honest with you, I felt like I was walking on one of them damn things in the bathtub the whole time. They're camouflage. And they're from Walmart. They're not even a real Croc. They completely hosed me on it. I didn't even know they had like expensive Crocs and all that stuff. So they got me some shitty ones from Walmart, and I'm okay with that. They went on my foot, and I didn't get pebbles stabbing me in the bottom of the foot. So in my opinion, they worked. Yeah, I mean, they worked fine. Pretty stupid, some of the prices for some of those, though. Yeah, I feel like it was a win. Now, if I can keep up with them, it's the most pairs of shoes I've ever owned. So I buy the same pair of hiking boots. It's a Timberland hiking boot, and I have about 20 pairs in my garage. And they go from extremely worn out to not too bad. No hat today because it's too damn hot for felt. I needed a straw hat for the summertime, but it'll be nice this winter. I did tell them, actually, it's funny you say that. I did tell them to get me the little things to stick in those holes on the shoe. Like they have little stars and words and jewels and shit on theirs. And they didn't give me any, none charms. That's it. And I don't know if anybody on here shops at Target. And for some reason, everything around me is actually weird. But the girls have started. Paisley started watching wrestling, and I haven't watched wrestling since I've been like 10 years old. So, anyways, we watch wrestling now at our house. But at Target, they have this little egg-shaped thing, and inside of that is a hidden wrestler. Does anybody know about these? Does anybody know about these things? They're inside a little eggshell thing, and it's a surprise wrestler, so you can collect the characters. So like, um, let me tell you something, brother. I like when conversations start like that. Either we're gonna fight, or I need to be told something. Like I got toilet paper dragging out of my pant loop or something. Um, so like Rhea Ripley, her figurine is in this thing, in one of them, but all the wrestlers are. So they came home the other day with like 3 of them. Now there's 2 of them, and if you count me, that'd be. So, anyways, they bring 3 home the other day, and there's 2 of them, 1 of me. That makes 3 people, 3 of these eggs. Did they get 1 for me? No, they got 2 for Paisley. And I'm like, what the Somebody tried to call me. Okay, struggle, focus. So we're off the Crocs now. We're on to these wrestling figurines. So, anyways, they bring 3 home, and I'm like, cool, I want to open one. And they're like, God, no. I said, you got 3. There's 3 of us. They opened them right in front of me. And then guess what they did? They gave me the shittiest wrestler. Right, right. They gave me the shittiest wrestler that they opened at the 3. And I said, hey, when you guys go to town, bring me back one. Okay? I don't even remember which one I got. Somebody shitty. Like, I wanted to get the one that they wanted so that I could taunt them with it, basically, was the only thing I wanted it for. But, anyways, they go back to town like a couple days later. They come in the house. Now, they got me one, but they opened it. And they said, here, Dad, here's yours. It sucks. Basically, that's what I heard them say. And I was like, what in the hell are y'all doing? Bring mine back. But I didn't say unopened. If you heard me the first time, I said, bring me one back. But I didn't say unopened. So apparently we're getting really specific with details around my house, which is going to come back to haunt everybody. Anytime you mess with me, it's going to come back, boys. So they go to town and they bring back 3 or 4 of them. I forget how many. And now I have one unopened. And they're all opening theirs. I ain't opening mine. I set mine on the table. And I said, I'm going to open mine later. When y'all ain't around, and it starts eating at them. I'm talking eating. And I'm like, nope. They're like, open it. I'm like, nope. It's mine. Don't touch it. I let it go for about 4 or 5 hours. And finally, their heads are about to explode and open it. It was somebody shitty. But ultimately, I won. Yeah, it was great. And I said, next time you go, if you guys get some, bring me back one. And they're both pissed now. No, it comes with like 3 wrappers on it. Like, you can't even get into it. Like, you got to unwrap and unwrap and unwrap. He who cares the least is who will win, man. That's who wins 90 times. That's in a relationship too. Same way with that. That's my relationship advice. Who cares the least, and that's as strange as that sounds, but Rufus is 6. If I would have left it much longer, Jay, they would have ripped it apart like a couple of wild banshees. I mean, yeah, they wasn't going to do it. They've got, Rufus has one down there. It's mounted to a tree. Redford has one mounted to a post, scratch a post. I got one video of Redford using his, and Rufus has just about ruined his. I'm going to start building a whole little obstacle course right here. Not really obstacle course. Let me zoom you all back out. Y'all are about to throw up moving around here. So right out in front here, I'm going to set their post and shit out here. And we're scratching post and all their stuff right out there. And what I would like to build is a little deck that sticks out like that and with a little gate over there. So we can shut this gate over here, and then you're able to go through a little gate onto a small deck out there, and then put their feed trough out there. So you don't get mobbed, and then you're up on a deck, and you can feed them, and then I can go live. Not have any railing on it, but the deck be up high enough they're not able to get up on it with you, if that makes sense. And then it's backed up against this fence so that they can't get to you from there. Maybe a couple of runners going down like that to the deck. And then be able to go live out there in the open, or go live inside here if it's raining or weather or whatever. I wish we had some rain here. 4 hours. We're almost 2 hours deep right now. In 30 seconds, we'll be 2 hours deep. And I said, we're not doing that today. I got Hagen a pocket knife. I'm going to go give him later. Y'all want to see it? Look at that. It's beautiful. I've been carrying it with me so that I won't forget. But he has to give me something. You have to give, if you give someone a knife, you have to give them something, even if it's just a penny. Or it'll cut your friendship. I don't know if everybody knows that or not. I'm getting softer in my old age at times. My girls will say I'm not, that I'm an asshole most of the time, but also a little bit softer. So, who all here has ever taken any of the, this will be a good conversation. I got nothing else to do. I mean, I got 100 things to do, but who here has ever taken one of the personality tests to see what your personality traits are? Where do we want to stand here where we can see something? I'm not standing out there in the sun. The sun is right there, and that is like the line of death, okay? Where could we go where we can actually have a view of something and bullshit at the same time? Maybe right here. You have, Watson? Okay. Hang on, let me set this up. I'm gonna zoom in so we can see something. So there's like 4 different main core personalities. You got the main driven, which every company has different birds. Ours did an eagle. They did a dove. They did a owl and a parrot. Make sure that's it. The eagle is the extremely driven, goal-oriented, A to B, accomplished mission, regardless of anything in the middle. The dove is the sensitive, more heartfelt, like, so say the eagle says, here's where we're going, here's what we're gonna do. We go from here to there. The dove would say, well, let's go to the owl. The owl would say, what are we gonna drive? How much gas do we have? Do we have expenses for this? Who all is coming? The owl will need all the information. Okay. The eagle just goes from point A to point B. Usually eagles are typically the main corporate level CEOs and corporate level, you know what I'm saying? Like they're the regional and national. It's just how it plays out. Not all the time, but majority of the time, that's them. Okay, so then you got so stick with me. So that's the eagle. Then you got the owl. He needs all the information. And it's funny to see when you're in a big giant room full of people and you start talking about this, then it starts exposing their personalities. So then you have the parrot. That's the one that is really loud and always has ideas, doesn't look at how much the cost is, doesn't look at how much everything, doesn't really pay attention to anything other than let's party. Those people, not like, everybody on board with me here? And then the dove is the one that, like, if you say something incorrect, they won't correct you necessarily. They'll just like, there's no point in it. They're not going to gain anything other than correcting you, where an owl will correct you, and so will an eagle. Not making any sense, Mike. So let's see what Mike is. Let's use him for an example here. So, we'll start with mine. So the dove is the sensitive one. Need to work on the dove. So the dove, if the dove is your core, it is very hard, almost impossible to be an eagle. If you're an eagle it's pretty much impossible to be a dove. This isn't a story, this is real. And this is how you get along with people in the corporate world and how you know how to talk to people and listen to people and all that stuff. So I use these all the time. Amanda is an eagle. I am a dove. Amanda is goal driven, A to B, nothing in the middle. I actually am a dove and an owl and a little parrot. So my main core personality is a dove, owl, parrot, in that order. So I want all the information. I want to know everything I can know about it. But I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings at the same time. Amanda will hurt your feelings. You know, Amanda, if you get in the car with Amanda, you're not checking the neighbor's cows when you're driving by their house. You're going if you're going to Academy and you get in the car with Amanda, you're going to Academy. Okay? She's not going to stop at McDonald's and stop at Brahms. Okay? I will eat somewhere I don't want to eat. And I've never sent food back. That's one of the big telltales. If you've never sent your food back at a restaurant, you're most likely a dove. Because you don't like to make ripples. Not that they're weak. Never mistake a dove for being weak. Usually, a dove will have a bigger grasp of everything on the room than any of the other birds. The downfall to the owl is they will calculate everything and not experience a lot of things because they already think they can't accomplish it. Does that make sense? An owl will actually calculate itself out of doing something. People pleaser, that's it. That's a dove. Well, here's a fun fact for you. Most men, if not 90-something% of men in the higher ups in maintenance or any facilities that have made it that far, are all doves. Is that not crazy? It's because they enjoy fixing things for people. It makes them happy to help you. Like with me, and I've told this to my family, my whole family knows I've worked on heat and air my whole life. It's one of my first things I was licensed to do. But if I thought you didn't call me at night because your air conditioner was out, because you didn't want to bother me, it would hurt my feelings more than calling me at 3 a.m. to tell me your air conditioner's out. I'd come fix it. You know what I'm saying? This is not a professor. It's just the personality traits. But you can be too smart to learn. So you got to just don't be too smart to learn. That's the biggest thing. You can look it up. It's an expensive course. Look up the birds. But what it does is it allows you to communicate with people that you typically can't. So rather than getting angry like Amanda does, dirty deeds. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Your first pair, Crocs with, I'm a dinosaur. Oh, yeah. I thought you were saying like, we're done, I'm out. See, that was a little bit of an eagle. I do have a little eagle in me, but not much. I would have never guessed that about you. So that's where the caretaker for animals come in with the dove. Doves are like have a harder time with like selling animals with, that deal because they bond too much with stuff. So that's one of my personality traits. That's like Amanda, she would keep them at a far so she wouldn't, it would just be get them so big, sell them. But if she came into contact, that's where she would be roped in to never selling them again. You know what I mean? So I thought it was weird that all these men at the conference, when we came down, everybody took their courses, their test, were all dove. I thought that was so strange. Man, I'll tell you what, I would rather eat a cedar plank than a dove. Dove are terrible. I don't care how everybody cooks them. Crystal, thank you. It's really interesting. You look it up. It's called the your core personality traits, and it's the birds. It's a few $100 to take that actual course, and it comes out every year with a new one to take. And so my company is a huge company, but when my email came back, everybody in corporate had their bird symbol by their email. So here's where it came into play. If I was going to send you an email and I pull up your email and it shows an eagle on your email, I wouldn't say good morning. I wouldn't say anything. How was your weekend? I wouldn't say any of that shit. I would say what the fuck I needed. That was it in one line. And that's all an eagle's going to read and give them what's going on. They don't want all the details. It's an eagle. Now, if you were going to send that same email to, let's say, a parrot, and you don't say good morning, how was your weekend? What was all the shit you did? Then they think something's wrong. You see the difference? A dove, we would rather not even get the email. The owl, they want a 45-page email with every detail of every information. They can never get enough information. That's an owl. Usually the owls are the ones at the airport 4 hours before their flight, trying to calculate their connection, looking at the map on their connection, looking at everything on their connection. The eagle has their ticket. They're not looking for changes. They're not looking for anything. It's in stone. I always thought that was funny. Emotional intelligence is right. Hey, I'm telling you right now, that whole course over 10 years, I started out, I was just a dove. I started out, then I went to owl, and then to small parrot. Never did crack. I mean, it shows you how much eagle you are, but I never did get above the line. Ranger's not good. Where you been, Crystal, for a month? Does anybody know what bird type you are based on that little spiel there? I'm just curious to how many doves, because the whole point of that story was to see how many people are focused on the animals. So most likely a lot of people would be dove and parrot, eagle, dove, black hawk. I'm a dove. I'm definitely a dove. See, that's what I figured. See, personality traits connect. See, I knew it. There are a bunch of damn sap-supping doves in here. Eagles clicked out while I was talking. Now all that's left is doves. Doves, owls. Owls want to know the rest of the story, but you're not going to see many eagles. Not a full eagle in here right now. They're sick of it. They're done. They're bounced. They bounced when the cows left. I knew the 600 people were damn doves. That's me too. You never say owl. Owl's good too. Usually an owl is accompanied by another bird. If you're an owl, you're usually something else. I think there's like a little sample course of that. I don't know why I brought that up. I thought that was so fascinating. Personality types and how they can. I wanted to be an eagle so bad. I was so pissed when I wasn't an eagle the first time I took the course. I was like, what the fuck? I'm an eagle, dude. I will rip your head off. And then it wasn't even about that. What was funny, all the eagles had, the first time we took that course years ago, they had their chest out, man. They were really proud of themselves. But eagles are more likely to fail. But an eagle is smart enough to gather all of the birds to build a successful company. It takes all. You can't run it with any of the singles. Chicken. But I bet it's hard to say. I think a lot of it also, it doesn't go by. Also, because I'm dyslexic so badly, and I didn't even know Paisley was, it's no way. Yeah, go look at some of my thumbnails, and you're going to see dyslexic pop out. I just put, I'm tranning my emus, and I read that word 19 times to make sure it was correct, and I still spelled it wrong. So I might be an eagle with a bit of an owl. Well, do you ever fly? Here's one of the good ones is flying. If you fly and you purchase a ticket to fly, do you look back at that after you purchased it? Really? Like, do you look at the weather on both ends, and do you like focus on that stuff? That's one big thing. That's a big owl thing. Love to have a superior trait. How to service a redbird? How to survive a redbird attack? Yeah, I do. See, Stacy, that's an eagle deal right there. That's Amanda. Once she buys that ticket, boys, that's it. It's cut in stone. And if you put one little kink in that son bitch, you better be ready. You're going to hear about it. A dove? Fuck, we'll give our seat to somebody else on the plane. We don't even care. We'll be like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll sit back here with all your kids. No big deal. I'm serious. That's the bad part about being a dove. That's why I run. See somebody broke down the side of the road, we're stopping. Stop for sure. I wouldn't. I put an alternator on somebody's car in the middle of the road, pulled it across. The young lady had a bunch of kids in there, and they were going to the water park. I drove them to the water park, dropped them off, then went back, put an alternator in her car, warrantied her old one, and then came back. Hell no. I know. Well, hell, you know what? You only get one life to live. You may as well help people out when you can, if you're able. Yeah. Owls are fun to be around, but owls will talk you out of a lot of shit. Like, owls will be like, don't get on Rufus. You're going to get this and that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm owl, but my core is dove. I've rotated over to owl more so. And parrot. I was actually one of the few people in my company that had all three types, and two were big. Which I thought was weird. It's a dove trait. Like, you can always tell doves too in the maintenance world, because a dove can go into your apartment or house and repair your dishwasher or not repair your dishwasher, and you're just as happy when they leave, whether they've repaired it or not. This is a big trait of an owl. They could come into your apartment or house, not even repair your dishwasher while you're there, have a conversation with you, explain to you what's going on, and not even fix it, and you're happy when they leave. An eagle will come into your house, fix your dishwasher, tell you everything you did wrong to get it into the condition it's in, fix it completely better than it was, and you're mad and you never want them to come back again because they told you everything that you did wrong and why it was broken. That's an eagle versus an owl or a dove. A dove can come in, not even fix it, and you're happy when they leave. An eagle can come in and you're mad. You don't even want them back, and they fixed it. You know what I mean? Like, heck yeah, I'm an eagle. But if you're an owl or a dove fixing a dishwasher for an eagle and you don't get it fixed, they don't want to talk. They want it fixed and you gone. I think it's funny. I used to have some great techs and great supervisors that worked under me. And I would tell them it reflects greater on you to have happy people versus fixed appliances. Like, you can go in there and make sure people are happy, keep people happy. And some people, the people that stuck with it. Johnny, welcome. I've literally had supervisors that were some of the best techs. They could fix anything perfect. And people have actually requested that they never come back into their house because they were eagles and they just was like, you broke a glass, it got into your pump, wrecked your pump. Don't put your glasses on the bottom. It gets too hot for those thin glasses in the bottom. You broke your pump. I replaced it. You're good to go now. And the people mad as shit. You know, like you're getting into what I did for a living there some. I had mold in my house. I could go in, explain everything that was going on and why there's mold outside, why there's mold inside, what's going on, and people be happy. If you send an eagle in there, these people were suing and had an air quality tester coming in the next day. You know what I mean? Like, that was a big difference. I put a new belt on our mower the other day. You didn't ask how they were. Yeah, I know. That's exactly right. Well, I do a lot of here's the thing, guys. I don't understand why my content is doing so well. And I'm trying to figure out why. Why have I been blessed with all this stuff? So I spend a lot of time on like self-evaluation. Like, what am I doing? Why is this doing so well? I do all my edits myself. I do all my videos myself. I don't have anybody help me. I do all my music myself. I do everything myself. And I am not a tech savvy person. I just now found out that YouTube had a create app. So now I'm able to do a lot more stuff. As in, I'm able to cut out sections. God must favor me. Well, I'll tell you what, before I found the Lord, I was not favored. I was not favored, that's for sure. After, I know this sounds crazy, and you're going to hear this, and if you're a real believer, But after, it changed every aspect of my life. That is when you know every, from top to bottom. Not crazy at all. It's really not. I don't even like the way I phrased that. But you get what I meant. You know, the one thing that I hate worse than anything, the one thing that bothers me, and I have tried to make myself steer away from that, it's a one upper. Like a one upper. Like if you tell a story and they did something cooler or bigger or better or badder every time you tell a story. God, I hate that. Does anybody know somebody like that? That I think that's my biggest struggle. Z Marie, Brent. I think in this day and age, people are craving for humanity. There's so much AI fluff. I agree with that. People just want the real thing. That's why I told Amanda, I was like, I don't even want a lot of these different tools. I'm doing everything just raw dog in life here, and it's doing great. But one uppers, man, you just want to sock them right in the mouth. I worked with a guy that was a one upper. Man, oh man, he had like the sawed off little man syndrome. He was above me. Yeah, well, that's all we know. You know, I was raised not far from right here on the side of a mountain in a creek bed. I spent most of my life growing up very sheltered, very secluded. Went to school. Everybody was my friend in school. Like I didn't like everybody always asked me who was your friends in school. I said everybody. Like I was pretty much got along with everybody. I don't know anybody I was like an enemy with or fought with. I hauled hay with my dad um, since the time I was big enough to walk. My dad hauled hay all over the country, all over Kansas and Nebraska and Iowa. And we brought hay back down here and back to Texas when there was droughts everywhere on big trucks. And like I don't know, I didn't see nothing but a hay bale or birds and shit like that. And I rode in a big truck. And my dad was a big bullshitter. So the gift of gab. I try to remember what my dad's personality trait would be. Um, my dad, you guys ever watch The Croods? That cartoon? They used to be one of Paisley's favorite shows, cartoons. That's what the Croods, the dad on the Croods, the caveman. Anybody ever watch that? That was my dad. He was safety fanatic. The safety, like take cover, don't do anything risky. Anybody ever watch that? Isn't that what it was called, The Croods? Yeah, that was my dad, man. Get in the cave and seal it shut. Don't let nobody. You know, my dad was always. I know, and a lot of that rubbed off on me. I'm always telling Paisley, her and her friend were going to the water park with their mom um, or something, and I was like, it's got a big fence around it and shit. And anyways, I was telling them, I was like, do not leave that fenced area. Do not step outside that fenced area, whatever you do. I said, so like if one of your friends walks up and like, hey, got a dog out here in the car or something, you know what I mean? Like I try to teach. It's really hard to teach with as cruel as the world is without destroying that innocence, but you have to get that across to them so they can protect themselves, because you cannot be with them all the time. You have to. Situational awareness, I know, with an 12-year-old, 11-year-old, it's hard to. I would rather crack the innocenceness a little bit and let them know how mean people are out there, so they can at least be vigilant. People are sneaky. I mean, I've been caught off guard by people trying to hack my accounts. People calling me, stuff like that. Like, I've gotten caught. And I'm smart enough to know better about some of that stuff. But like, Paisley knows. She doesn't go with anybody. I don't care if they're pointing a gun at her, if they're doing whatever they're doing, she doesn't go, no matter what. You do not get in. You do not go, ever. No matter the situation. That's a fear. Oh God, hackers, yeah. She knows, like, fight, kick, scream, whatever you gotta do. And keep that phone with you, no matter what you do. I said, if you keep that phone with you, I will find you right now. It tells me, like, that's one good thing about Live 360, is it tells you where they're at and when they leave a place. So yeah, I mean, you just never know, man. I was raised in a house with all men, boys, and brothers, and now I got these girls, and I'm like, oh God. It is crazy, but you know what? I'm the opposite of that right now. Like, if you go back in time and you look at how the world was, go back and look at things that were going on 80 years ago to today. I think the world's better. Is that weird for me to think that? But if you're talking about, like, you know, World War, you're talking about the Holocaust, you're talking about burning churches full of people, like, you're talking about stuff like that versus nowadays. I know the world is definitely far from perfect, but I'm like, is it better than it was, or is it worse than it was? You know what I mean? I don't think so. I have not heard. Well, you're not wrong. I don't. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I'm like, I'm not trying to agree with you. That's the dove trying to agree, but also at the same time, I'm like, yes, there has been a gunman going to church. Yes, there has been people shoot of schools. Yes. Is it worse? Probably not worse. I'm just thinking about how much stuff went on where there was no cameras back then. How many families, right over here in the woods, there's 16 graves. Who knows what happened? Like, that is an old farm settlement. I know we like to think the best of people, but before there was laws and all the things that, to make sure people are taken care of and different things. Who knows what those 16 graves were? Who knows what happened? So now we monitor pretty much everything. If something slips through the cracks, then yeah, there's actually more than 16. That's just what I found. And then there's a down below here, like on my neighbor's place way down in here, I found a bunch of graves down there too. And those are all children down there that supposedly burned in a house somewhere back behind, not on my property, but in a house fire. But that one is really, really sad story behind that one. And it's all, it's not gravestones. They actually took saws and they sawed limestone rock and made a tomb. It's entombed all the way over it, and it's carved into the birth dates and stuff, and names are carved into the limestone. I'm just saying, I don't know what happened there. Nobody ever would. It was just by the word of mouth, probably, you know. But nowadays, it would be investigated or whatever, you know, and who knows what happened back then. But everybody's like, the world is terrible. The world, no, it's green. There's a pond down there. There's cows here. There's not a sound out here besides nature. It's still a good world. The world is still good. I don't think so. Not through my eyes. And I've traveled everywhere. I'm not just a local yokel living out here in the woods. I've been New York to California to Miami to you name it, everywhere in between. I can't help but think that it's not worse. I'm not a local yokel. I did come back to where I grew up. I will say that people are ruder, a little bit more rude, and I think it's just because you go from a low population to a higher population areas, and people get a little bit more rude. And I think that also, if you're from the South and you go north, you see things as more rude. And then it's the exact opposite. If you're from the north and you come south, you see things as rude. Ma'am is the big one. Ma'am, when you call a woman ma'am, up north is not welcome. Oops. I do too. I think social media has definitely changed a lot, but that's just the world has been changing. You know, it's like somebody asked me what I think about AI taking over jobs, and I'm like, hey, we used to dig a ditch with a shovel, and then somebody invented a backhoe, and that backhoe was run by one person that took the jobs of 20 people with shovels. Like AI, the evolution of AI and the evolution of equipment and different things like that is all in the same category as far as I'm concerned. I don't see any difference. I mean, the way I feel about it, like a backhoe, I mean, that's like not using AI is like saying, let's dig a ditch with spoons. You know what I mean? Instead of a backhoe. Now, I'm not real familiar with that stuff, so it scares people. It is scary. AI will track everything and everyone, but you got to remember, all this stuff in space, all these satellites, all this different stuff, it can already see you on wherever you're at, what you're doing, how you've manicured your place, how I've cleared this place. Like everything is being read. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit. Hell, they track me for a while. They're gonna go, fuck that. We're not coming out there, man. The guy plays with 2 angry bulls. He's been flipped over. We've watched him from up there. I'm out. On the east. Yeah, my whole portfolio, that side of the barn getting hot down there. my whole portfolio. You see all the cows shuffle over this way too? I don't know if y'all can still see them or not. But they're right. Oh yeah, right there down that fence line. They kept moving over and over until they were damn near in the woods, and I'm like, is there not a damn fence there still? But my portfolio was the East Coast, and I really enjoyed it. I did not care for some of the areas around Miami. Did I lose you guys? Oh, there you are. I did not care for some of the areas around Miami, though. I do have drones. Well, it's like I felt trapped down there, like east of, no, west of Miami. It was like all concrete, like no fresh air until. So I started driving over Alligator Alley or whatever that's called, that road. You can fly your drone. Oh yeah, I use my drones a lot. I use my drones. The reason I started getting drones, listen, don't think that I'm a tech savvy person at all. Like it was like a half a day ordeal to get my drones going. But I use them to fly my bait out fishing. And now they started outlawing it, so I used them to keep from getting bit by sharks. Shark fishing at night. It would just carry a big piece of mullet out and drop it off for you. There should be a balance between remembering our history and trying to use modern tools to progress forward. There should be a balance between using modern instruments. Trick to find the balance. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like I can tell a difference when I got this new phone and got the new AI assist deal that is more human-like now. Um, it cracks me up. Some suspenders. The ma'am thing up north is where people would get pissed off. Down here, if it's an 80-year-old man walks up to a little girl and he says, if she, like, say an 80-year-old man comes up to Paisley's vegetable stand and buys something, he's going to say yes, ma'am, to her. That's just how it is. Like you would get the hair ripped out of the back of your neck within about 2 seconds if you didn't say yes, ma'am. I don't know why the chat keeps scrolling off my page. Is it breaking up? It doesn't matter how old though in the South. Like if it's a female, you just say yes, ma'am. Now, regardless. But now, if you're a guy, you only call another guy sir if in some fashion they're either older is the number one. If older is always sir. Even if it's just a couple years older, it's still sir. It's really weird when somebody older calls another guy sir. Almost, well, I don't even know that I've ever even seen that happen. I mean, maybe that's got to be a military thing, but it's not. Like, guys, unless you're older, like if I'm going to somebody's property to hunt, and generally that would be somebody older than me, I would say yes, sir, no, sir, if they ask me any questions. Like, you see anything? Yes, sir. You see anything? No, sir. You know what I mean? But if I'm at the co-op and Hagen or the younger guys in the back load my feed, I'll just say thank you. I was thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking, I say yes, ma'am, to everybody. But sir is an age thing. Is that right, or what do you think? Used to could. I know, and I'm one of those parents too. My daughter, she gets about a quarter of the what I received as a kid growing up. Which cow's the stinkiest for Rufus? Rufus always stinks. It was just strange because I never really thought about men, but you'll never see, James, you'll never see another guy say yes, sir, to somebody younger, will you, really? Not really. Even in the corporate world, like a guy won't say yes, sir, to somebody younger. Or if it's like corporate world and they're super high level, like CEO or something like that, then generally they act a lot more like older. Yeah, James. Oh. And if they're a dick, you don't call them sir at all, ever. Like if they're an asshole. Partner. If another guy calls you partner, like, hey, what's up, partner? That's instantly pisses me off. What else can you be called that instantly pisses you off? When you say partner, it's like, hey, listen, partner. Oh, man, you're mad. Instantly, you're mad. Boss. Dude. Oh, dude is the one. Dude, bro. I've gotten into some. Dude is the one. Oh, man. I had a guy one time, and I didn't know it at the time, but I was on a job site, a construction site. It was a big one. And, it was like 600 units. And anyways, just trying to give you the magnitude for this. And this guy had been there, and I was over the whole project. And I didn't know it, but he was actually a brother to the CEO of my company. And he owned, imagine that, he owned the construction company. He was the owner of the construction company. And in between, I'm running the construction company, overseeing their work for the company, which was the brother, which I didn't even know. But anyways, he called me dude. And man, before I knew it, I had a hold of his collar. But they had dropped some hardy siding over top of the door. And this end of the building had a lot of kids living in it, younger kids, like, I say kids, 20 years old, just first time to college. And they were dropping some hardy siding from 3 or 4 stories up over a door that somebody could walk out of. And it scared me, first off, because when I seen it, I knew they didn't have anybody in there blocking the door. And then it scared me that somebody was about to walk out the door. So the couple things that can get you hurt around me, by me, is scaring me or being neglect, whatever, to get somebody hurt. I don't care if you're stupid enough and you want to get hurt, but hurt yourself, but I don't. Anyways, he called me dude. He goes, listen, dude. And we're talking about like life and death stuff. Like a piece of 4x8 sheet of hardy siding falling from 5 stories up would cut you in 2. And I'm running across this thing to stop these guys because they weren't supposed to start yet. Yeah. Oh, so fucking mad. I still remember that. I literally was so angry because I had just told them until we get everything sealed up there to where that it was a fire egress. I couldn't block it. I said, until we get this, we can't do any work right there over that. And of course, being a dove, here go back to that personality trait. You're kind of a pushover a little bit, but I was real particular about safety. So grabbed him by his he was from up north, up in Jersey. He was a little older. I don't know. He's probably 50, 55 years old, maybe 60, maybe at the oldest. Nah, he's about 55. Anyways, he had never had a shirt wadded up around his neck before. And it actually got back to this guy was not part of my company. He was a construction company. Now, they kind of kept that quiet because it was a construction company working for you know what I mean? Like, it didn't matter, but whatever. But I snatched him up by his collar there in front of everybody. And he'd never had that happen. He got the Jersey talking. He's talking all big and tough from up north. Yeah, and dude, what are you doing out here? We're trying to work. And I said, motherfucker, I will pull your head off. We're going to have a major fucking problem out here. Somebody's kids, 20 years old, and they're dropping a piece of siding on. Fucking dealing with that shit. Fucking Jersey accent ain't gonna help you in Arkansas. Fucking never find you again, dude. I got a buddy with an incinerator. You know what I mean? Oh man, it pissed me off. Then to find out he was the boss's brother. That whole story got back to the big CEO of the company too, which we were buddies. And then it became a huge funny story, thank God. I needed my job. Oh, he's all, from Jersey up here. We do things differently up here. We're in fucking Arkansas. Well, dude, you will disappear down here. I don't know if you know that or not, but you may be somebody up there. Anyways, he never came back to the job site after that day, whether he needed to or not. I don't know, but I know all the construction crew that he owned was like, oh, well, I'm always the nicest easiest going guy, but you put people's life in danger. It pisses me off. I would love to be called mate. Is that weird? G'day, mate. I feel like that's badass. I know. We have one pig. I thought this was funny. No, mate. It's what we say to him. No, mate, is what we say to anyone. I think it's cool. I have an Australian, well, my old job had his name, I ain't gonna say his name, but anyways, he was with a really strong, he was from, that's where he was from, so his accent was like, perfect. I know one day I was talking to him about duck hunting, and he goes, oh, he's in the Heidi, as he called it a Heidi. And, the duck blind, we call it in Arkansas, but he called it a Heidi. And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like a Heidi hole or something? So I thought that was pretty cool. The Heidi. Oh, you were up on the Heidi. I don't know what that means, but I don't want nothing up my hole or anything weird like that, if that's what you're referring to. You're an eagle? Heidi hole. Yeah. So is Heidi, is that word Australian? If y'all can hear that calf right now, that was Rowdy. I'm in Heidi hole. I live in Florida. I don't know, Nikki. We've sidetracked so far right now. I haven't done shit today. We're 3 hours deep and we've gone over that our personalities are all jacked up. We got a whole bunch of misfits on here. And now we've gotten into Heidi holes. I don't know how we got here. Rowdy just woke up. Nobody was around him, so he starts yelling. Stacy did. No, everybody's just. Are y'all working right now at your desk? Therapy session for sure. Hey, I'm telling you right now, if you do that personality thing, if you guys will seriously do that, it'll give you a better relationship with your partner, whoever you're married to or whatever. You'll be diagnosing their problems for a while. You'll be going, that's why you're so fucked up. I knew there was a reason. Hey, if you do that, if you really do those things and read those personality things, it will help you. I promise you that. It will help you get along. It'll help you get along. It's worth it. The problem is, Amanda's an eagle, and she doesn't give a shit about that. So, if you could ask her my personality characteristics or traits, she didn't give a rat's ass, man. I call her the cookie cutter because it's like cookie cutter, boom, 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 boom. You know, it's like how much we're gonna have for dinner, the exact portion for each person. You get 7 donut holes. You get 7 donut holes. You're a little bit smaller. You get 6.5 donut holes. I'm like, no, we all get 9,000 donut holes. I will buy the whole fucking thing. Don't ever count donut holes around me, ever. Do you think I'm a celebrity now? Like, would it be, is that possible? Because, I started this whole thing actually on a bet. And then it went from the bet, once I won the bet, I could make $1. The next thing was I wanted Amanda to admit that I was a celebrity. And I don't think that she ever has, but also I can't prove that I am. There's no way to prove it. I know, but the criteria if you look me up, it won't say it. So she's still winning. I said, I've been on the news twice. I've been on everything that it takes to be a celebrity. You have to tell me. She's like, well, prove it to me. And she's like, you can't, because you're not. Well, we got 1 million followers on Facebook, and we got 600,000 we're gaining on 600,000 on YouTube, 2 million on TikTok. I think right now we are 5 billion views total. I'm not counting any of her stuff. Her stuff is her stuff. I know. I wish I could tell. You're working in my ear? Okay. Yeah, we're averaging 500 million. This month is one of our best months so far. I'm trying to do everything I can to up the hours. Watch hours really help us. That's why I'm staying on live a lot. Trying to do lives a lot because the watch hours help. So if we hold 500 to 1,000 people on here for 2 or 3 hours, you're talking about thousands of hours between everybody. And I don't really want to work today. How can I prove I'm a celebrity? We got to prove it. Somebody Google it. Rufus the Bull, I built the whole thing, okay? If it says Rufus the Bull, it'll say sensation or something. I've been talking to my AI for like, Ross, how do we know? How can we prove it? I need like a plaque. She sees everything. She just won't admit to it because she's hard-headed, because she's an eagle. I've done voiceovers for most of them. Paisley will say I am. Paisley's friends told me I was, and that really hit home because kids don't lie a lot. Younger kids will tell you that you're ugly or that you look older today or your hair looks like shit or whatever, like right straight to your face. I've been recognized in airports for years now. I went to the river to go fishing, and there was 2 people on the river in the middle of nowhere. And I come walking down, and the guy goes, "You're shitting me. Rufus, did you bring Rufus with you?" Jay, what did it say? You Googled it. It didn't say I was a celebrity, is what it said. I forgot about this whole thing with Amanda, with the celebrity thing, until somebody just said that. I know, Nikki, we all think so, but we can't prove it. Someday. Maybe I should send a fake celebrity award to myself. Well, okay. When I get to 1 million on YouTube, not if I get, when I get to 1 million on YouTube, I get a gold deal, and I'm only going to put Paisley's name on it because I feel terrible about my last one. I get a gold plaque that says, not that we're a celebrity, but it says something. We're going to get to 1 million on YouTube. We're gaining 1,000 a day right now. So we gained a couple thousand a day for a week there. So we're going to get there. We're growing. We're like the thistles of the internet. You can't spray us out or whatever you're going to do. We're going to keep growing. We're the internet thistles, and we're bringing in the thunder chickens. I know, we just hit 570, and now we're already at 573. Faye, I need some way to prove it. Google said it? No way. Don't fuck with me on this. We are the thistles of the internet. We spread everywhere. Cows left hours ago. We've been up here bullshitting about random stuff, man. It ain't been looking good. We've strayed off. We've talked about, we're pretty much all the same personalities here. So we're screwed. Social media star isn't good enough, Jay. Oh, well, my son just called, and I clicked over to talk to him for a second, see what he was doing. We're the Thunder Chickens. I have a feeling they're not going to back me up when it comes to Rufus. Hang on, we could a unique personal made widely known to the public. Media coverage and his commercial brand is made profitable from those for their popularity. Perhaps also, I know I looked that up too. Sunshine, a unique persona made widely known to the public. I know we just needed to say. No, my son called and I clicked over. It's probably getting hot though. What did Nikki send me? I can't click on that, Nikki. I would. If I do, it's going to take me. I'll have to read that in a second. Rufus is in the shade tree. I'm about to call it quits since my phone's jacked up. We can't prove I'm a celebrity of any kind. And we're all doves pretty much on here. There's a few people that are in denial that think they're eagles, but they're actually doves. Australia, a lot of people from Australia do follow. That is crazy. TikTok made it so that if you're in Australia, they do not pay for views from Australians. Yeah. So any views from Australia, they do not pay you for. TikTok keeps making it harder and harder and harder to make money. I've pretty much quit that whole platform. It's where I started. It's kind of sad. Celebrity floor mats in the Ranger. Yeah. Look at your text. I can't. I'm on my phone. I'm on my good phone. Cheerio. I know. I just want Amanda to have to say it. She won't say it, man. She's an eagle. She's the most hard-headed person you'll ever meet. I try to walk her through saying that. I'm like, okay, let's walk through this. I am taking accountability for whatever it is that happened. And she's like, nope. I did. Who lost that, though, honestly? She's the one that lost, technically. I ran her off. I told her she wanted to marry me. I said, get out of here. I said, you don't have any kids. You have a whole life ahead of you. You don't want no part of this. Ran her off. Get out of here. Get on out of here. I really did. You can ask her. And then I come crawling back and said, you know what? You sent me proof? Okay. I'm going to look at it in just a second. I said, I will accept you as my girlfriend if you allow me to build you a castle. I said, I'll never stop working. What was it? Yeah. I'm gonna do today is I try to set myself up for like Rufus the Bull. Hang on, what was that? Rufus the Bull is an internet celebrity and a genuine viral sensation, effectively known as the Big Boss. He is. What? You're. Hey. Don't be putting fake stuff into fake news. Need volunteers to build my castle too. I felt pretty obligated to come through to for her in life. Although she says I'm just a big bullshitter when it comes to people because but also I'll go down with my ship trying. That's what stressed me out so much in work, man. I wouldn't. I'll tell you what, when you're around those corporate level people, that's when you need to. I don't know that I ever put in for a promotion, ever. And I wasn't promoted quickly. But every time I was around the corporate people, I would gain a new job and title, pretty much, if that makes sense. Sometimes I never wanted to be very high up, if that makes sense. I always wanted to be, I just wanted to be comfortable, pay my bills, buy me a hamburger, be able to afford it. That's it. That's it. Rufus has one. I'm standing in it. Rufus is worth $7 million. Estimated to be worth $7 million, and we love him. Where could we sell him at? How much money would it take to buy Rufus from me? There's a good question. How much money would it take? The fuck are these? Do you know why a crow never gets hit by a car? Because there's always one in the air saying, car, car, car. That's right. 10 million? Would I sell Rufus for 10 million? Can I get like the optional, would I punch Amanda for 10 million or sell Rufus for 10 million? Would I punch Amanda in the face for 10 million? Yes. How hard do I have to punch her though? Because she's not very tough, honestly. Big boss. How hard? Yes, Amanda's big boss. Light tap. Hell no. 10 million? For 10 million, who wouldn't punch their spouse in the face for 10 million? She'd punch me in the face for free. She has before. Hard. For nothing. Listen, I've been punched in the face. I've been punched in the face in a bar by somebody that cost me a night in jail and a couple $100 in fines and some fucking other stuff, and I didn't even make any money. I would definitely punch her in the face for 10 million. Yeah. What? It cost me $500 to get punched in the face. I'm just saying, like, who wouldn't? And I know I wouldn't want to hurt her. I couldn't punch her as hard as I could. Like in the face, like in the mouth or something? No, man, no, not in the nose. How about the side of the head? Like if it was for sure she wouldn't get hurt. I mean, more than you would getting punched in the head, like no permanent damage. You guys wouldn't punch your significant other I think it'd be different for a woman, but women can punch really hard too. I see my buddy get hit by a chick and she dropped him. He's a big guy too. Oh yeah. I couldn't punch Amanda. I did one time. I've never ever hit a woman, touched a woman, squeezed like ever. But one time I was on FaceTime with my son, and Amanda was behind me in the background, and she was pissed off about something. And I was going through kind of a sticky phase there, you know, with my son and everything. Anyways, I took my foot behind me and I pushed her like out of the way of the. I don't think she knew I was on FaceTime first off, but I kind of just pushed her over so she wasn't behind me in the video, and it was like I had battered her. She looked me up and down and she was like, "Oh, no, you didn't." It was the craziest thing. And I couldn't help but die laughing. I was laughing so hard. And she was like, man, it was funny. And then she about threw a can of peaches and took me out, like literally. Big can of peaches, the jumbo can of peaches, full of peaches. I pushed her over, like pushed her out of the frame, and it was like, oh my God, it was so funny. We talk about it still to this day. I didn't have a shoe on. I was barefoot. And it wasn't like I did a George St. Pierre and like spun, kicked her. I pushed her sideways. Where did I come up with George St. Pierre? I wonder what he's doing nowadays. Anyways, I know. That's been 6 or 7 years ago. Amanda doesn't fight. She doesn't fight verbally, physically, or anything like that. Like, we do not fight. It's so strange. Like, we may argue, but we haven't even been in like a heated argument in years. Is that weird? Like it used to on Sunday afternoon, because we're all stuck together, you know, for so long. Everybody's pissed off. Nobody knows where they want to eat at after church or whatever. Usually Sunday afternoon, like I'll start dinging a bell because I know it's about to just touch off. Matter of fact, I've started on Sunday afternoons. I've started just not being home in the afternoon because it's better for everybody. That's so weird. We definitely don't have it all figured out. Like we have our moments. Wonder what Dwight Yoakam's doing right now. But she's just not. I'm one that'll fight with you. I'll throw a fit like a little kid, man. I'll stay mad for a couple days if you'll let me. Like I'll go to bed and not even tell you I'm going to bed. You know how you do when you're married. Like, oh, you went to bed without even telling me you're going to bed? Like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, I'm mad. You know, that's the big swing right there. Oh, you went to bed? What? Are you sleeping? What is going on? Are we fighting? Yeah, I went to bed without you. Yep, I'll throw a tantrum. The turnover, I'll turn over and face the other way. Like abruptly, like a big flop over. You know, one of those. You know what I do? Here's my, I'll tell this, then we got to go. I'll do the, we're not sleeping until we figure this out. We're not going to go to sleep till we get this all figured out. Because when I screw up, which is frequently, um, it's like a 2 or 3 day, like I guess it to how many days mad it's going to be. Like, how many days am I going to have to pay for this? And then that pisses me off because I've screwed myself for like the next 2 days. You know what I mean? So I just want to get over, like, can't you just be shallow like me and just, let's just forget it and move on. So I'll wait till she's just about asleep and say, well, did you pay such and such's bill? Because the worst thing you can do is ask somebody about checking balances or anything like that before they're going to sleep. Yeah, I'm petty as you get. Ask about the checking account. Did you pay the electric bill? That's all it takes. That right there, you're up for 3 more hours now. Your brain just went into warp speed trying to process it. That's a dirty trick right there, man. I am sometimes. It's the only time I can get a rise out of her. Did you do this thing? Yep, that's her with me. What she likes to do with me is bring up something that I haven't done while her mother's there or something like that, while people's there. Well, Brent still hasn't fixed that chair that's wobbly on the kitchen table. Be careful which chair you sit in. There's 7 chairs. One chair, they took the seat off the chair to recover it with some stupid shit. Didn't bolt it back on there correctly, and now it's my problem. And I refused to put it back on there because I told them they were going to lose the screws, and it was the original ones, and I needed them. And so every time her mom comes over, Brennan, fix that chair. Be careful which one you sit in. I'm like, just staring at her. Oh, Amanda has done some roast for me. If you want to do something funny, have AI roast your spouse. Tell them a little bit of information about your spouse, and then have AI roast them. I keep hearing something back here in the woods, and I don't know what it is, but it sounds large. But I'm about to jump off here, but have AI roast your spouse for me, for you. It'll actually hurt their feelings. So if they're tender feelings, be careful, because it definitely hurt my feelings. What was I hearing back here? All of a sudden a damn bear bust out of there. Hey guys, I'm gonna jump off here. Thanks for joining. We got some hours in here today at least, which is some good watch time for my channel. And hopefully we enjoyed it. We discussed pretty much everything we could think of. Have AI roast your significant other. Just tell them a few details, but tell them some personal shit, okay? Tell them about something like that only you and your spouse talk about or something, you know what I mean? Yeah, do it, Jay. Do it. Say you got to come up with something that only like y'all talk about. So when it comes from AI, it sounds like it's coming from another human, which almost is like, listen, I'm trying to tell you how to like sabotage your own relationship right now. But anyways, it's funny because it comes from AI, so it sounds like that you've actually told another human personal information when they're talking about it. Heather. See which personality type your spouse is first, though. So if they're a dove, you may not want to. If they're an eagle, they're not going to listen to the whole thing anyways. If they're an owl, they're going to try to figure out how you did it. If they're a parrot, they're going to giggle and laugh and shit the whole time. He's definitely not a dove. You'd be surprised. I see something brown out through there. Where was it? Oh, it's over there. Oh, it's a dead tree. These cameras zoom really well. I thought I saw some kind of Sasquatch back in there. Nah, do it. Amanda did it to me. Yeah, we're still waiting. Use AI to roast your significant other. It's funny. I mean, what is today? Wednesday. Nothing really going on in the middle of the week. Piss off your spouse. All you got to do to mine is breathe on her face in the morning, which is what I try to do. Mine's angry at bedtime, and actually she's angry in the mornings and at night and in the middle of the day, some areas in there. So any of those times is not. Okay, you got the assignment. Try it out on somebody, even if it's not your significant other. Just try it out on somebody. Ross, just grab somebody you know that's sensitive and then have them roasted and video it. Thank you. Nah, we'll get you divorced. Just be funny. I do. I like to squeeze. My thing with Amanda is I squeeze her leg. Like while she's in bed, I'll like squeeze her leg, like her thigh. You know, if somebody squeezes like your leg, if you're in bed with your eyes closed, like you can feel that for a long time. That's what I do. I quit giving her a kiss on the mouth because it was like a bad breath thing, and like I would find a way to get down in there. That's probably too much information. Or I would go eat breakfast and come give her a kiss after I ate like a breakfast bowl with pecani sauce and stuff. And that seemed to gross her out some. So then I still do that, just depending on the mood. Does anybody kiss their wife every day when they leave, or their husband every day when they're leaving? Whoever leaves first. Then this is the last question. Everybody's like trying to hang up. You're trying to hit the end button, but you know it's a sick thing, man. You stay here to watch. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. Mine used to. That was me with mine too. Ellie, it's probably because you chomped at him. You went like a Rottweiler. Yes, kiss my husband every day. If you don't, do you get mad? Or do you think something's wrong? Hub's kissing me every day when he leaves. Oh. Ellie, I know you don't because you already slapped the shit out of him for kissing you and waking you up. You should do a comedy routine. Well, you never know what the old good Lord will send me into next. Once I get all this stuff built out here, it's kind of been sad seeing everything being built, going back through pictures the other night. That's why I made that real sad song with that. I got to stop doing that because y'all are all freaking out and y'all don't watch long enough to see the fucking video. Everybody just assumes the worst. Amanda goes, well, you played a sad song. You showed you and Rufus, then you were digging a fucking hole with a bulldozer. What do you think people would think? And then you throw a sad song on top of it. I said, I'm building a road. 2 seconds later, is the barn sitting there where the bulldozer was. It's because the lazy bastards aren't watching the whole damn thing. I'm going to start doing something weird at the end of these videos so that you guys will have to watch the whole thing. You have 0.0 or 0.1 something seconds to grab attention. Oh, you guys want to see? You think I was kidding you about those graves? Right there's one right there. Right there. I know it just looks like a pile of rocks, but that is actually a grave. There's actually a headstone there. You don't see any other rocks around, do you? Nope. And the headstone's all on the east side, which was the settler thing. There's another one. Where's that other one at? It's not far from that one. They've kind of absorbed into the ground. Oh, it's up that way. It's right up there. So they're all through here in rows. That's not my property over there. So whatever bad mojo's over there, just leave it over there. Okay, guys, y'all be good. It is interesting. I went over them with metal detectors to see if there was any metal. But a buddy of mine has like a ground penetrating sonar, and he's going to come by. But I can tell beside that how much dirt came out of that. So that hole is deep. That grave was deep. But he has one that'll actually show you what's down in there. I don't want to see. I told him he keeps wanting to come out, and I'm like, man, I don't want to see if there's like a little kid or something in one of those. Look, I just wanted to see if they were Native American or if they were settlers. But with the headstones on the east end or facing east, it says all settlers. That's what I looked up, anyways. Y'all be good. Love you guys. Y'all be good. Thanks for sticking with me. Do some weird shit to your significant other with the AI, though.